You can stick your new world order up your ass. You can stick your new world order up your ass.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it, man.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
You just killed a little fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. Yeah, because you got nothing.
Lobito!
You got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA boxing.
We will rise with you. I'm a king that will never give up. Your king is in great spirit.
All right, this is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the boxing debate arena. That's right, the debate arena where we talk about boxing, obviously, but we want a little bit of drama. With moderation, of course. All right, cut the music. Guys, welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. SSB28. I am Phil, Rock Roca, Triple JJJ, Brian Harkin, Elias. Two Fexes. Can never pronounce your name. Just call you Elias. Box. Yeah, same bread. Guys, welcome to the show. Had a great show today. Because we are going to talk about anything and everything that's going on in the world of boxing right now. And on top of that, we have the auditions. That's right. If you want to join the BDA panel, well, you got to go through the auditions. People will obviously, we're going to show the people, right? So you guys will decide who you want to be in the Discord panel, right? As a regular panelist. So that's part of the plan. Also, the phone lines are open. You guys decide what we talk about. All right. I'm gonna go through the news, and then and after that, I guess we can just talk about whatever. So I was reading somewhere that Josh Taylor is saying that. Oh, by the way, with Revolution, when you come back, let me know. Or yeah, because he wanted an introduction. May I fucked it up now. All right. Let's introduce Revolution. Oh, hold on. Oh, shit, hold on. I'm fucking it up here. I'm fucking up an intro. Jesus. There we go. All right.
And you, ma'am? How's the food? I think we have a critic.
All right, we have Revolution, or Revolucion, as I call him. Revolucion, what's up? I don't know if I fucked up your intro, man. I don't know how you wanted it, so. And you're muted, by the way.
Bucho, it's all good. I'm having a little technical unsmoothness myself. I won't say difficulties, just fucking up the smoothness of the show.
I know. Anyways.
It's the auditions. I'm excited. We got some new guys coming on, or some guys from before. What is it?
Well, we'll see. I'm gonna post the StreamYard link, and then we'll take it from there. Oh, we got.
I'm thinking today we should do the Scared Straight edition. All right?
The hell is that?
These guys got to stand up to the tough. You know, Scared Straight when they got these badass kids on Maury or Jerry Springer, and they get the ex-convicts to come out.
Camp.
and scream in their faces to see if they can handle it. We're gonna do that. We get some of the toughest of the panel members up here, including myself, who's not in the toughest, but I'm gonna be up here acting tough. We're gonna scream at these guys a little bit and see what they're made of.
Good idea. Good idea. All right. So phone lines are open. Somebody's calling already. So let's take a phone call. Let's go to the phone lines. 917, you're on the air, 917.
Hey, what's poppin', Bucho? Shout out to BDA and your whole program, man. Awesome program. You already know who this is. I'm always the first one to call.
Are you now?
Yeah.
Wait,
usually.
Is this Jay? No, who is this? Who is this?
I'm not gonna say it because for a reason. Because I'm calling today because there are a couple of guys in the group down in the chat, right?
Yeah.
They know my voice. They hate on me all day long. They call me by name. They're like, here we go again. David's back. He's calling.
Oh, David.
I'm not going to say their name. I don't want to give them any attention. But these two guys, man, they never call in. They never want to call in to debate me. I never heard their voices ever. They're keyboard warriors all day long, and they never argue any boxing points. They just talk in the group chat, call me all these names with no real solid boxing points. So I challenge you, both of you know who you are. Call in for the first time so we can hear your pussy ass voice and debate me on some real shit.
You
know
I like
who
this.
you are.
I like this. I like this. I like
this.
Let's do it. Are you saying they're scared of you?
They're not gonna call in. That's the thing.
You think they're scared?
No, because they don't have any boxing points. They just want to call me names because I like Showtime, and they want to call me names while they're fanboy this and that. Like, everyone here is respectful. We disagree, but when we disagree, we argue actual boxing points instead of saying, they're down there making fun of my voice. Oh, he has an annoying voice. Hang up the phone. If you want to talk, why don't you call in so we could speak? You know what I mean? Don't be typing in the group chat 4 hours later. He's probably typing right now. Both of you guys hear me. I don't know where you are, UK, wherever, but you guys are starting to piss me off.
Who are these people? Which
one?
You and your boyfriend.
Come on,
Get on.
throw some names. Throw some names.
I talked over him as he put the names out. Say it again.
BOKS, Box and Triple J. Let me hear your voice for the first time. Who the hell are you guys? You've been hating on me since the beginning. Come on. Let me hear you. I'm not even reading the chat right now, but I don't even want to read what you guys are saying. If you got something to say, call in. Call in and talk to me.
David, I feel your anger, and I think that you should join the BDA Kumite
How do you
edition.
deal with keyboard warriors?
That's right.
I'm inviting them on. Okay, let's set it up. I'm here. I'm here all day. I call every single time. So both of you, get on the show. BOKS and Triple J.
This reminds me of... go ahead.
I think we're seeing a little bit of a hierarchy developing here. There's the full-time BDA panelists on the Discord. Then you got the callers, regular callers like David over here. And then you got the scum, the bottom of the barrel. And that's the chat regulars. They just shit on everybody. Fuck all you cunts.
They shit on everybody, and they're afraid to come out to actually call and voice their actual boxing arguments, and they have to resort to personal attacks.
And that's the beauty. There's no excuses on BDA to not show your voice, not be heard, because you could call in. Everybody got a damn phone number. Call in.
That's right. Call in or stream here. I just posted a link. David, you kind of sound like this right now.
Do it! Come on! Do it.
Whatever it takes. You know what? Whatever it takes. Right?
It sounds like Independence Day.
If that means you'll come on the chat. Whatever it takes.
My son David's a scientist.
Well, there you have it.
Anyway, so we have a couple in here. Everyone heard what I said. You guys are all my witnesses. I called you out. And if you ever call in, if I ever hear your voice, I will call in right after you. And that's it, man. I'm out. Thank you for thank you for letting me rant, man. You guys are awesome. Great programming, man. I love hearing your show. Keep doing your thing. Enjoy.
Thank you, David. Call back again later, and if anybody...
Thanks for having me, man. You're the man, man.
All right.
Later.
That was David. Sounded a little bit pissed off, but that's understandable. The chat is toxic, as Stu always says. It's a cesspool.
They suck. got to get through them. They're like a moat. You know what I mean? If BDA is the castle, the callers are the soldiers on the front lines, and then the chat is the moat. You know, you got to get through the moat before you even get taken care of.
That's right.
You guys are a fucking bunch of fucks.
You know, people,
Who's it? The Saint Brit. I saw you taking shots at me, Saint Brit. Okay, the beef ain't over. I thought for a second that you were gonna leave me alone. You weren't gonna bother me no more. But you got to get me started again today, Saint Brit. I don't want to see anything else from you.
That's what BDA boxing's all about: debates, feuds, vendettas, you name it.
Yes,
Let's start talking boxing, guys. Where do you want to start? With the news, or do you guys in the chat have anything that you want to talk about?
Well, I wanted to talk about since who's on here, just us. I wanted to talk about for a minute now, Joe Smith Jr. You know, did you guys really talk about that fight at all? I didn't hear anything.
Joe Smith against Alvarez?
Alvarez, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it, of course, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I was on that show. I missed
what are your thoughts?
I like Joe Smith, man. I've liked him, and he's on a roll, man. And I'm a little nervous now that I'm getting behind him because I don't think he can beat Beterbiev, and I think Beterbiev will knock him out.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I'm just it's gonna upset me. It sucks.
Yeah,
but I did like the fight, and he's rough and rugged, man, and he chops down trees and does landscaping. He's a working man.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the credit in the world to him. I relate to him.
And he says that I believe I'm a little tougher than Beterbiev. I'll get him out of there. So, I mean, he does have that mentality, obviously, as every boxer should, that he's gonna win any fight. But we have to be realistic, people. Beterbiev is a fucking beast, man. What's up, Johnny boy?
What's good, buddy?
We can't forget the Bevel fight. You know, the Bevel fight.
Mm-hmm.
We can't just look past it because Joe Smith's had two, 3 good fights since then. Because he was outclassed there, and if you look at Bevel, or if you look at Beterbiev like a Bevel with some power, and he's able to touch him more and control the fight. It's not going to look good. Doesn't matter who's tougher at that point. You know, you're going to get broken down.
Hey guys, I'm going to go outside. Tell me if my mic's getting staticky or it's breaking up.
Yeah, all right, we'll let you know. No, you're right.
What is this, a Verizon commercial?
No. Shut up. Anyways, but no, I'm glad you guys brought the Beterbiev and Joe Smith up, dude. I hope Top Rank makes that fight. I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell you this right now. That's going to be a fucking brawl, son.
Yeah. Like I always say, it's going to be a great fight for as long as it lasts, because he's not going to go 12 rounds.
And I'll tell you this, and I'll tell you this too. Don't write Joe Smith off, man, because I'm going to tell you this right now. Beterbiev's old. He's fragile. He's inactive.
That's true. That's true. This is a situation where hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work hard. And you know Joe Smith works hard.
Well, I wouldn't call it that, but yeah.
We're not looking at a total upset, but I'm just saying Joe Smith is the active, nonstop, constantly working out, it seems.
Joe Smith's a tough motherfucker, dude. He fucking kid's only been stopped once, and it was like in his 4th pro fight.
No, that guy's tough, man, and you can't count Smith out.
No,
no way, man. That would be ridiculous. That would be stupid. Listen, a lot of people claim that he didn't have a chance against Alvarez.
You know what, Bucho, and I'll be the first man to admit it because I always say when I'm right, so I'll say when I'm wrong. I picked Alvarez to win by points.
Yeah, I got that one right. So.
Oh, you picked Joe Smith?
Yeah, that's right. At the end, it was the show. Gonzalo asked me about the fight. Him and I, we said Smith wins, man.
I knew
you know what? But I didn't expect it to be that easy, to be honest. I thought my prediction was like Alvarez was gonna be outboxing the guy, and at some point he was gonna fade and he was gonna get caught. But I didn't expect Smith to dominate the whole time.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be. I knew it was gonna be a good fight, but I was like, I thought, I was like, it'll be a tough fight, but Alvarez will outbox him and get the decision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was, but yeah, that shit surprised me too. I mean, fuck, man. The dude beat him. I know B-Hop was old or whatever, but B-Hop was old when he fought everybody. So he beat the shit out of Bernard. He beat the shit out of Alida Alvarez.
Mm-hmm.
He fought Bivol, even though he lost, and hurt him a little bit. You know, he's a good fighter, man.
Yeah.
He's a good fighter.
And
yeah.
Now,
you're mentioning his. You're mentioning his record, his wins, his losses, but even though he has some losses, you know, they were against good opposition. So
he's on. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying. That's it, man. The guy has experience. That's also something, an attribute, man. Experience.
Bro, here. Let me say this, bro. He has 3 losses, bro. He points to Bivol where he hurt him. Sullivan Barrera points, and he rocked him a little bit too, if I remember correctly. And he lost to some dude in like his 3rd or 4th or 5th pro fight, bro. So that's it. You know, losses don't mean shit, bro. You learn from losses.
Now you know what else to segue. You could learn from a near loss.
Yeah.
You guys think that the thing with who was it? Jesse Hart was the one before. He beat Jesse Hart, no doubt. But that potential robbery that they set up, that split decision that was dirty, do you think that maybe for the future could light a little fire under his ass and say, "Yeah, I can't trust the judges. I'm gonna have to knock guys out."
Gonna have to. That's what fucking Marvin Hagler did, dude, because he lost those 2 decisions early on to Willie Monroe and Bobby Watts. He was like, all right, dude, I'm just going to have to start stomping fools. Fuck this bullshit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what Marvin Hagler's whole thing was. And then he became champ a little while later.
Man.
Well, how old is Joe Smith? How old is Joe Smith?
32, 33, 31, something. He ain't that fucking old.
He's 30.
He's still got a couple of good years left.
Yep. So that experience, like I said, is going to help him. He already has the power. I think he has improved a little bit since we first saw him on television.
Yeah, that's what I was telling everybody. I'm like, bro, you can get mad at me. I just, you know, because everybody thinks Beterbiev's the fucking Terminator, fucking Ivan Drago over here. So I'm like, I don't know, bro. The dude don't fight very often. He's old and he's fragile. I don't know, because his resume is dog shit outside of Volchik.
And he's been hurt before. He's been hurt in the past. He's not the Terminator that, like Johnny Boy is saying. He can be hurt. Yeah.
He's not. And I thought Vosdik was outboxing him until the last 3 rounds or so, until he succumbed to the pressure. I thought Vosdik was winning that fight.
Right. But now let's be realistic as well. Joe Smith is going for a knockout. I mean, this guy isn't outboxing, or I don't think that's his plan. His plan is going to be to land a fucking power shot.
Are they talking about that fight, Bucho?
Oh, yeah. Well, he is.
Are they? All
right, let me... Yeah. I'm on boxing scene, and he's saying Joe Smith Jr. hopes his foreseeable fight against Arthur Beterbiev happens just as much as many boxing fans. So, yeah, he wants that fight, and I mean, that fight makes sense. Why wouldn't you make this fight?
And they're both with Top Rank. Run that shit, bro.
Yeah, ESPN.
Oh, dude. It's going to be a bloodbath.
It's kind of crazy to look at. Joe Smith really does have a better resume, I think.
Dude, bro.
By a shot, you know?
He's got B-Hop. He's got, even though he was old, B-Hop, Alida Alvarez, and fucking Jesse Hart. That ain't bad, bro.
Fanfara?
Well.
And Fanfara. Yep.
There's an issue here. Apparently, he has to fight somebody else before. He says, first, however, the 30-year-old Smith must face the winner of another WBA light heavyweight eliminator between Russian contenders Umar Salamov and Maskim Blaslov. So he's waiting to fight the winner.
Yeah, 2 up-and-comers. Yeah, but the thing is, I was like, bro, if you're going to postpone the fucking Beterbiev fight, at least make it against somebody worth the fuck. Who the fuck is Adam Diney? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
All right, we have so we have a prospect on StreamYard. Jaquan, what's up?
All
What's
right.
up, Jaquan? What's cracking, Joe?
Yeah, baby, how you doing, guys?
The hell? Wait, hold on. Let me turn the volume up. I can see.
Dog, you sound like you got a mouthful of shit.
What'd you say?
I want that smoke, baby. I want that smoke. Give me that smoke, baby. I want it all.
Jaquan, what type of smoke? Are you from the LDBC, man?
I want that smoke, baby. Give me that smoke. Give it to me right now.
What the fuck, yo?
I think is this a soundboard?
I don't know. Do you want to debate?
The smoke. Hey, yo, check it out, my man. This ain't no soundboard. You can give me the smoked meat, smoked chicken, smoked ham.
Hey, Jaquan, I think I've seen you in the chat before, man. You talk a lot of shit.
You ain't see me no way. I just get out, you hear?
Daquan, were you in Dune?
Jaquan, put some respect on my name, baby. Come on now.
I think
This
I heard
dude's
him.
awesome.
I think I heard him in a couple intros on a Snoop Dogg album.
Did you used to open for Project Pat?
Jaquan, you sound pissed off, man.
Check it
We
out.
haven't even
Check
started.
it out. When you fellas,
I was raised in
when you fellas ready to get serious,
projects.
y'all give me a call, right?
What'd you say, Jaquan?
the projects. Projects. I was raised in the projects. Look at it.
Jaquan, are you there? Oh, he left. Fuck. Yeah, that was weird, man. What the hell was that?
His voice was fucking weird.
I was raised in the projects. Projects. I was raised in the projects.
I am a king. I am strong. I will rise again.
Oh, it's that.
Taking out these BDA guys one by
We
one.
will regain the title. For the war has just begun.
King Deontay Wilder.
All right, we were talking about Smith. Let's move on. What else is on the news? Everybody's talking about Crawford, and who else, man? No, yeah, the Spence, the whole Spence Crawford thing. I don't know why people spend time talking about that fight because it's not happening, man.
It's not happening, you fucking mooks, dude. And I hate both of you fanboys on both sides. You all suck.
Yeah,
you
but Johnny, you're a Crawford fan.
I'm becoming neutral. I'm neutral, Bucho.
You're neutral.
I'm neutral. I don't hate Spence. I just like making fun of him because I just like making fun of him because it pisses the LDBC off. But and Crawford needs to fucking fight somebody, so I'm neutral in that whole situation. I don't give a shit. The fight ain't gonna happen. Stop talking about it. It's not gonna happen.
I don't even think it's ever gonna happen.
Crawford's 33 going on for 34, so by the time Spence does come around to fighting him, he'll be fucking old. You all, both fanboys on both sides suck. You all suck. A prime Pacquiao beats the shit out of both of them. Suck my balls. There you go.
Pathetic, man. That you have a 40-something-year-old still there that can actually beat their asses.
As much as I hate Floyd, prime Floyd beats the dog shit out of Spence and Crawford. Real talk.
Yeah, but that fight would be boring, man. Pacquiao actually fucking stops these motherfuckers, man. Or at least busts them up. Because let's be honest, Pacquiao at welterweight, his knockout ratio started going down, but still, he would beat people to a fucking pulp. Chris K in the chat, thank you for your contribution. He says, anyone who says another man is his king has issues. Absolutely. Look at
Your
his voice.
king is in great spirit. I will be back. We will regain the title.
We'll see about that. December 19th is the date they are targeting for Wilder versus Fury 3. Now I'm not gonna talk about that fight. We've talked about this fight for a long time. To be honest, it's getting fucking tiring. So no more Wilder Fury talk in the chat, all right, people? Please.
I'm gonna say this right. I'm gonna say this right now. The next person to bring up Gary Russell or Devin Haney to me is getting stabbed in the fucking jugular. I swear to Christ.
Man, that's another topic that I want to touch.
Yeah, but that's why I brought it up, Bucho. Look, that's why I brought it up. I figured you just wanted to talk about that a little bit. But fucking, dude, If I hear that stupid ass fight one more time, I'm fucking stabbing somebody in the eyeball. Nobody cares about fucking. Wait till I get back on Twitter. I'm gonna murder both of them. I'm gonna murder both of them. I already got the fucking grave dug in the desert. Now, listen. Nobody gives a flying fuck about. Nobody cares about Devin Haney fighting a 5'3" fucking midget that's never fought above 126 pounds. It doesn't tell us shit. It doesn't prove shit, and it's fucking stupid. You understand me? And you're all stupid for promoting that fight. Not you guys, of course, obviously. This crowd seems intelligent and perceptive, but the rest of you guys, holy fuck.
This is a stupid question, but who the LTBC? They're on whose side? Russell or?
They can't pick a side, dog. 78 was trying to fucking circle jerk Bill Haney because he decided to jump on his stream and fucking, well, I don't know what was said, sir. Looking ass. Well, I don't know what they were saying. Something about a blank check, bruh. Something about a blank check.
It's becoming ridiculous. Like they're fighting over a fight that first of all doesn't even make any sense because of the weight disparity, and because that fight is never gonna even happen. So, waste of my fucking time. All right.
Damn, I got wasp in my ear, bitch. Oh, motherfucker, get the fuck away from my face. Oh, sorry.
Jesus. All right. Phone call 407. You're on the air. 407.
Hey guys, it's Boricua. I know I haven't been active, but I just wanted to run through a couple things that y'all said and some things I thought of as throughout this. First thing would be, honestly, I think Brian Pacquiao would have knocked out both Spence and Crawford, even if he didn't have as much power in 147.
Good man.
Good
man.
Okay.
Mainly what?
Oh, go ahead. Make your point.
Mainly because both have been proven to get hurt by guys that aren't as powerful as Prime Pacquiao. For example, Crawford got hurt by Gamboa. What do you think Prime Pacquiao would have done after a few nice combos inside 6 rounds? Another thing is, even though Kell Brook has been proven to be physically strong, I think Pacquiao would have put a much higher pace than Kell Brook did on Spence.
Yeah,
Right.
he slaughters both of them, brother. And Johnny Boy especially
Yeah.
appreciates you coming on here and telling it like it is, dog.
Everybody in the chat saying
and there was a few other things.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing that kind of disappointed me was how this guy, Daniil Vosdick, retired at such a young age. He was like, what was he, like 32, 33?
Yeah, he's
I thought
33.
there still could have been some really good fights for him, like Alvarez and Joe Smith, which I think would have been great fights in my opinion.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You know what? Wait, did he ever say why he retired? So young?
Nah,
so young.
but I remember Revolucion making a good point about how he nearly murdered someone and how he got the crap kicked in such short time.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. That makes a lot of sense. Go ahead, Revolution.
He was on both sides of it. And to elaborate, I think we're gonna see a lot more guys in general as the years go on retire like that earlier and earlier. Guys have shorter careers because with what we're finding out with brain damage and CTE and all this shit, people getting into it are gonna have kind of a hesitancy almost, you know.
Tell that to Jake LaMotta and Sonny Liston. Nobody wants to hear that shit. And Archie Moore. Now,
what point does that prove? How does that counter? You're talking about guys
because they took blows in the head for 100 years and they were fine. Is my point.
But people, okay.
You fucking scientificer, Afghanacular, fucking brain surgeon guy over here. Anyways, yeah,
nah, man, you're gonna see a lot more people just kind of get out with about 20 fights. I'm telling you, in early 30s.
What I was gonna say was, Freckles, is this, okay? I was gonna say AJ's gonna retire in about another year and a half after he has his trilogy with Andy Ruiz and never fights Tyson Fury or Alexander Usyk, and then he'll call it a day because he's got $1 billion in the bank already.
And I'll say to that fat ass, same for fucking Tyson Fury, because he's only in his early 30s, just about.
Tyson Fury KOs AJ in 6 rounds.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. But these guys are looking for ways out of boxing, man.
You know, that's a good point there that Wilson makes. Some of these guys, like Gary Russell Jr., I was over at the Jefferson stream earlier today, and he was pretty angry about people were even considering a Gary Russell Jr. versus Devin Haney fight. And I agree with the guy. I mean, I agree that he should be displeased by that type of, that they're even considering making this fight. But that's the way it is in boxing, man. It's like nowadays, guys, first of all, the stylistically, guys like Devin Haney, look, he's a great boxer. I like his defense. I really do like his defense because he's not a runner, technically. But him, Teofimo Lopez, what's the other guy? Tank Davis, to a certain extent, it's always one punch at a time. One punch at a time.
Yeah.
And they bark when they counter. It's like, stop it. Can we get a petition or something going to stop these people from barking when they throw a shot? They're just asking to get their jaw broken. I'm surprised none of these guys have ever gotten their jaw broken.
Fucking Browner over here.
Yeah,
fucking dude, you sound like a fucking one of John Wayne Gacy's victims hitting the bag like that.
I know.
Then you got those guys that hiss really loud. Like,
I don't mind that. I don't mind that too much. But it's the barking.
He hung up. Shit, I was gonna tell him to say something else. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, how do you audition? Is anybody willing to enter the BDA auditions or?
Yeah, come on, guys.
Listen, Recognize. I've been trying to reach out to Recognize. He's MIA. Stu only comes in every once in a while. Precise, it's been a long time since he's been gone. It's going to be a year this November. So we need to replace the roster. Now, I do have, what's his name? Fuck.
I'm already in, right?
Shut up. We had, what's the guy's name? Jay Thomas? Is that his real his name on Discord? Well, he's got a different name on Discord. But I told him, listen, you're a knowledgeable boxing fan. I like your moxie. Come on in. But we need more people. So, look, it's a friendly little addition. Nobody's going to go Simon Cowell on your ass. So don't be afraid. Come on in. If you think you got what it takes to be in a member of the Discord panel, drop us a message. You can do so right now. You can call in or you can come in on the StreamYard and we'll see what's what. All right?
I got a question about this audition, BDA.
Yes.
Am I going up against fucking Gonzalo or am I going up against Rocco Siffredi? Because there's two different kinds of battles I gotta fight.
Well, first of all, it's not that type of audition.
It's the couch.
Forgot about Rocco Siffredi.
Yeah. Who am I going up? Yeah, for this audition. Who am I going up against over here? Fucking Revolution or fucking Lexington Steel? I mean, come on. You know.
By the way, we're gonna be doing. I advertised this over at T Jefferson stream too, but as the fight gets closer, we're gonna be doing another live film analysis where we look at GIFs, and it's gonna be for the Lopez, Teofimo Lopez versus the Lomachenko fight. But also, I'm gonna be probably doing this in the morning because that's when I got time now. Devin Haney. A lot of people are saying Teofimo Lopez is afraid of Devin Haney. Well, let's take a look at Devin Haney's his best opponent so far. And we're going to take a look at GIFs. We're going to see how good he really is. We're going to take a look at his strengths, his flaws. And I want all of these Devin Haney fans, or non-fans as well, come in and tell us, hey, what's the deal with Devin Haney? Is he the real deal? Is he the guy that's going to beat Lomachenko, even though he's only 22 years old and hasn't beaten anybody of note? We'll see. So I'm advertising that today.
Hey, I think Bush. I think I asked him this last show. We're doing the Charlo stream next week.
Next week. Well, when the
yeah.
fuck
Okay. I was just curious. Okay.
Well, we're still.
What do you mean? What do you mean
right?
doing? Like you mean? Like what? Like a live?
Where we
stream?
give our predictions and shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was just wondering. Yeah.
Oh, that's coming. Well, all right, guys, join.
God damn, yo, you know what? Real quick, remember, you ever be back in school, like back in the day, middle school, whatever, high school, and like you had a teacher, you had a class where the teacher was gone for a while, like they were sick or for whatever reason they were gone, and you had like the same substitute for like 2 weeks in a row. Remember that happens once in a while? That's what BDA the show feels like nowadays. Like you got Bucho running it, and he's like the kind of feel like the substitute, and now Mr. BDA's back, and he's like the teacher, and it's like okay, kind of back to reality.
No.
And he's
Hold
got
on,
all
first
this
of
shit
all-
laid out. He's like, today I'm doing a
Nah,
show, we're gonna advertise this.
I had this one substitute teacher. She had Parkinson's in her neck, in her head, and we used to call her Miss Bobblehead.
Oh man, come on.
I mean, really. I mean, John. And look at him. You guys can't see him on the Discord, but he's smiling like a maniac. You look like the Joker, Johnny boy. And you're starting to creep me out, man. All right, listen. First of all, I want to refute real quick what Luciano said. First of all, I want to make it clear. This is a 50-50 enterprise. Bucho, without Bucho, there would be no BDA boxing. It's just, again, I got to reiterate what happened. People didn't know what to call me because I was usually hosting the show. So people started calling me Mr. BDA. So they assume that I'm the one that runs the channel, but it's actually Bucho who came up with the idea, the concept of the show. It's a 50-50 thing. So if I'm not here, Bucho's here, and if Bucho's not here, I'm here. That's the way it works. And by the way, Luciano, in terms of school, 10th grade was my last. So I don't remember high school all that well. All right.
That kid was always a dumb fuck. Didn't he almost drown in 3 inches of water?
yeah, the penguin exhibit. Yeah.
Hey guys, I just wanna, because Borico's calling back. Borico, are you there?
Yeah,
The
I
penguin.
was going to say a couple other things. Good thing, Mr. BD mentioned Devin Haney. One thing that I was about to say about the stupid Gary Russell fight is that I think Devin Haney's a bit of a hype guy. He's not ready for a title shot until like 4 to 5 years. Here's why. His defense is nice and pretty, but his offense is very overrated and very, very leaky. The other thing I was going to say was that if you guys do consider me for the Discord panel, all I was going to say was that my username on the Discord is not Boricua, it's just Medina.
Okay. So
What's his name on the Discord?
Boricua.
No, he said it's not Boricua.
Huh?
He said it's not Boricua on the Discord.
No, what's your name on Discord? Did he hang up? Oh shit!
You tell me.
Just Medina.
What's your name in the chat, man?
Buddy.
All right. Hey, by the way, wait. So hold on. 917. Is this David again?
David's back, man. I mean, your boy's back. There's something I forgot to say.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted to fight with Boricua, but go ahead.
My son David.
So, there's one thing I forgot to say. All I want to say, support American business, man. What do I mean by that? I was debating somebody, right? They disagreed with me. They're like, you must be a liberal. I'm the furthest thing away from a liberal. I'm a New York Republican. Trump 2020 all the way. So how are you guys who are trying to say Trump 2020 make America great, and you don't even support American boxing channels? You know, you're like, PBC sucks. You're rooting for Eddie Hearn, this foreign British guy. You know, we have a foreign enterprise coming into our country trying to outsource our fighter. You're rooting for him. You don't even root for the PBC, an American brand on Fox, on Showtime. Al Heyman, you know, they're still an American brand. And how am I a Wilder fanboy? How am I an American fanboy for supporting our own heavyweight champion, an American Olympic medalist, just because I rooted for him as an American? I'm a liberal. Like, how are you gonna say Trump 2020 and then come out with this contradiction? This is black, man. That's what I want to say.
David,
support American fighters. Support American fighters.
Go ahead.
But Wilder got his ass beat, though. Wilder got his
He did.
ass
No,
beat.
he did. I don't care. He did. But why am I a fucking fanboy for supporting him? I know he got his ass beat, but don't try to say you're a liberal. Like, nah, fuck that. I don't care about that BLM bullshit. I'm sick of that shit. I'm Trump all the way. That's why I'm supporting homegrown American fighters. So don't be contradicting yourself with that bullshit. I'm out.
Amen, David. Amen, brother David.
Man,
you know, it's
running
true.
for president.
It's true. It's the most conservative, most American, non-racist way to look at it. People think boxing is all about racist or racial fucking shit. He's just like, he's American. I don't care if he's white or black. He's our guy. I'm gonna back him.
Dude, I don't give a fuck if the dude's from America, Istanbul, Australia, or your fucking sister's ass, bro. It doesn't matter to me. Who gives a flying fuck where somebody else comes from? Gives a fuck.
It matters to some
Yeah.
people. Don't matter to me either. But
Fighters or fucking promoters or trainers or whoever. None of that shit matters to nobody. The people who are concerned about that. I mean, come on. What do you? There's, boxing is a sport that brings people from together all over the world. Asia, Europe, I mean, fucking Top Rank's American too. So what the fuck is the problem?
I think the LDPC were celebrating the fact that the zone is having these issues with Canelo and how Eddie Hearn has failed in taking over. I mean,
Well,
I don't know who gives a shit?
Well, you guys know how I feel about Canelo. I think it's fucking hilarious that crying ass little bitch is still fucking pouting his way to the courtroom. But anyways, that aside, but he's just a fucking diva. He's Mexican Floyd, bro. That's all. Straight up.
All right, hold
not
on.
even
Borico, anything else? Because you're still on the line.
I was about to say to David, the reason why most of the time people don't like the PBC is because they rarely do competitive fights. I'm glad they're doing more competitive fights with this upcoming card, but most of the time their cards are trash.
Yeah, that's the thing with the PBC.
Compared to the other ones.
Sometimes the PBC, they disappear for a long time. They put on or they put garbage fights, and then all of a sudden they come out with like a bunch of good cards, and then that's when the PBC fanboys come out, right? And they start, yeah, look at this, man, amazing. You can't compete against this. Yeah, but for like, the other half of the year, it was garbage. So, yeah, I mean, you can't play like both sides.
But the other half of the year was garbage for everybody else as well.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
Boriqua, listen, bro. I say this all the time, dog. I don't give a fuck who puts the good fights on, whether it's the Zone, ESPN, or Showtime, dog. Just give me good fights and I'll watch it.
Exactly, and that's what I was about to say next. I just wish we can go back to the old days where the best would actually fight the best and not make these Twitter wars. Because all the fans want to see is good wars on the ring, not on Twitter.
Bro, you know what the thing is about Twitter? I could say I'd kick the shit out of Deontay Wilder on Twitter now, couldn't I? And we all know that's not true. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Borico. We're gonna let you go, man. But thanks for calling. All right.
All right, no problem, guys. Y'all have a great evening. God bless.
You too. Take care. I also have Brian. Brian, what's up?
What's up, lads?
How are you, man? What's on your mind? You want to talk about something? You want to talk about whatever you want?
Just the division in boxing right now and the YouTube channels, and we got bullshit fights coming up like Leo and Tank, and a possible bullshit fight coming up in Devin Haney, and
no, that's not happening.
Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully not. Hopefully calmer heads prevail and Devin Haney actually gets in the ring. I'd like to see right now Richard Comey. But here's my question: Why isn't Devin Haney not fighting Tank, and Leo not fighting Gary Russell Jr.?
Right, that's what somebody said on the last show. He said they got it all wrong. Was it you? I think. Anyways, yeah, that's true. It would make more sense if Gary Russell Jr. fights Leo Santa Cruz, and then Tank Davis fights Haney. But the thing with Haney is that I don't think Eddie Hearn wants to put him in with somebody. He also want to put him in a 50-50 fight. And I know some people claim that Gary Russell Jr. has a chance to beat Haney, but the guy's small, and Haney's he's not that bad. Haney, so he would be the favorite coming in, and that's good enough for Eddie Hearn. That's good enough.
I got Lomachenko slapping the shit out of Devin Haney with the T-shirt on that says "No black boy will ever beat me."
Forget about that fight. Eddie Hearn's protecting Devin Haney, man.
Why isn't Devin Haney not fighting one fighter?
Hold on. Hang on, Brian. I got Lomachenko beating the fucking dog shit out of whatever the fuck his name is, Devin Haney. in the middle of San Francisco with this whole neighborhood around in front of him, smashing his face and KOing him in about 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Go
Sounds like
fuck
train.
yourselves.
Sounds like training day. At
Yeah.
the end.
I'm surgical with this bitch, Jake.
Johnny sitting there with his hands folded on his big belly like the boxing Buddha, giving
Hey,
it
look at
fucking
this.
pontifications and predictions.
I am the Buddha.
The Buddha of,
Smoke-
the Buddha of
smoke
boxing.
Buddha.
I can change. I can make these clouds disappear behind me. Revolution. You didn't know that?
Cloud. Disappear cloud.
Anyways, again, Haney against Russell Jr. is not a 50-50 fight. The weight difference will make a difference, and if you can forget about Tank Davis against Haney, anyways, man. Tank Davis also a guy that's protected.
That's what I was gonna say. Here's the problem. We have a Haney and Russell fighting, maybe. We have Tank and Santa Cruz fighting. Why isn't Gary Russell and Santa Cruz fighting each other and Tank and Devin Haney fighting each other?
Yeah.
That's the fucking problem, right?
Yeah, PBC. These guys always tell me how the PBC has all these great fighters, and that this huge roster of fighters, but yet they fail to make all these big fights, man. Or they fail to make the fights that make the more sense. It's a whole failure over there, man. And I'm not just trying to shit on the PBC. I'm giving you reasons why I think the PBC they've made a lot of mistakes throughout the years, man.
Yeah.
Why are we getting this fight? Go ahead, Brian.
Sorry. If Tank knocked out Leo Santa Cruz, he gets no. If Tank Davis knocks out Leo Santa Cruz, he gets no credit from me, anyway. That's the fight I expect him to win easily. So no matter what happens, unless Leo can make to the 12th round and go to the scorecards, I expect a knockout from Tank.
Brian,
if that happens, if Leo makes it, if Leo makes it to the scorecards, then Tank gets whatever credit he would from me. That's down in the toilet.
Yeah, but bet on a draw for that fight.
Brian, here's what it's gonna look like. Pedraza. That's what it's gonna look like. It's gonna be Pedraza 2.0. That's exactly what it's just gonna look like. Or similar, pretty similar to this. But BDA, I just need the little visor thing, and I'll be Paulie Walnuts right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's a visual gag. People can see.
I'm just going to tell everybody in the chat here, right? Don't buy that fight. $75 for that, you're getting ripped off.
We need to support.
Absolutely. Well said, Brian. I've been telling the same people the same thing for fucking 2 months over here. Don't waste your hard-earned money on these jagoffs. They're not worth it. It's a shit card of a meaningless cherry pick.
I don't know, man. Am I crazy in thinking that Santa Cruz? Yes, he's a beanpole in there compared to Tank Davis, but listen, Santa Cruz knows how to box from the outside, man. He's got good stamina. Forget about the punching power. It's not all about punching power. And we've seen Tank Davis looking like mediocre in his last couple of fights. So, nobody's intrigued about watching Santa Cruz to see what might happen?
No. I think not, because we believe that Tank Davis has enough power to knock him out. And eventually he will land. And just he's a little bit bigger.
Bucho, it's not going to happen with one shot. He's going to have to get in there on the inside against Santa Cruz, and he's going to have to beat him down. Santa Cruz ain't going anywhere with just one shot.
Right.
Yeah,
but still.
If Santa Cruz is anywhere near mid-range, he's open for that hook. And Tank Davis, right? I think Santa Cruz will have to get in close to Tank Davis to be effective, and that's where Tank Davis lives. Right? In that mid-range area where he can get off the hook. So,
Frampton hurt him.
I feel like he's going to play into Tank's hands. I think he has to play into Tank's hands to be effective, but that's dangerous for him, and he's going to get knocked out.
I think that people think Santa Cruz is so much bigger than him when he's really not. He's only 1.5 inches taller than him, bro. He's only got like 2.5 inches of reach on him, bro. He's not that much bigger, bro. Like, they're taller and lanky. Like, nah, bro. He's gonna get fucked up, bro. Watch.
Well, now that you mentioned the height thing, now I'm starting to rethink it. Okay, according to BoxRec, which they like to exaggerate, Santa Cruz is 5'7.5", and Tank Davis is 5'5.5". Okay, so let's say at best it's a 2-inch height advantage, and the reach, they're actually Santa Cruz has 2 inches in reach as an advantage. So you're right, it might not be that significant, man. You're right.
Yeah, it is.
You're absolutely right.
I know. See, motherfuckers are thinking Santa Cruz is like 5'10" or some shit. He's not. He's not.
In the chat, the straight G Turo says if Santa Cruz can out jab Tank Davis, he has a chance. Okay. Junior minimum weight LDBC in the chat says Davis will weigh in at 135. And Blue Collar Sports TV says, I'm not sold on Tank versus Leo. It's Spence versus Mikey 2.0. Do you guys think it's Spence Mikey 2.0?
Yes. Except yes, except it's going to be a quicker, more brutal beatdown. Yes.
Yeah.
Del Boy, I concur. Johnny Boy abides. You understand me? Johnny Boy abides.
You know, one thing about Tank Davis, and Stu's been one of the people that's been vocal about this, is that Tank Davis, I mean, look, say what you want about his outside the ring antics, the Jerry Springer type antics. That guy's strong, man. He's a strong puncher in there. Defensively, he's got lapses, he's got deficiencies, but he's a guy who can go in there, work on the inside. Like I said, he punches hard and he will wear guys down. And if he shows up 100% against Santa Cruz, you know, it's going to be a beatdown. But nevertheless, I mean, anybody he fights, I think, is going to have a problem with him if he's 100%. But yeah, Tank Davis, he's not a joke, man. He's not a guy to take light.
His biggest deficiencies are his 5 baby mamas.
I'm a king that will never give up.
Yeah.
Hey, we have Spud Mr. Famine in the chat. Looks like a potato.
Hello. How's it going?
Oh,
what's up, man? Potato.
What's happening?
Spuddy! What up, Spuddy?
Buddy.
What's on your mind, Spud?
Everyone in the chat, you're the smartest potato on YouTube.
Buddy.
Yeah, me, not Fanon. Obviously me, even though he looks more like me than I do.
Oh.
So what are we talking about?
We're talking about Leo Santa Cruz, Tank Davis.
Yeah.
What about it?
Well, people think it's the Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence Jr. 2.0.
Oh no, those two men had talent. That's a disgrace to those teams. You have a bantamweight versus a fat midget.
That's a good point. So I'm guessing you're not gonna watch this fight?
Why would I watch that? They have Khabib Gaethje on the same night. That's a waste of time.
Is it? Yeah. Do they, Johnny boy?
Yes, that is correct. I said this from Jump Street. That night I'm watching Khabib Gaethje. Fuck this cherry pick.
Shit. And it's a pay-per-view, guys. It's a pay-per-view, man. Nobody's gonna buy that shit.
Dude, I bet you that shit does under 100. I won't be shocked, Bucho.
You see what's going on here, Bucho?
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to make it racial, but I gotta do it. You see what's going on? We got Spuddy Spudderson, and then we got Johnny Boy here. Two people as white as they come, because, you know, the potato's Irish too. And they're going to be watching Khabib versus Gaethje, two white guys, as opposed to the Mexican and the black. Why am I not surprised?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me give a counter rebuttal. I have a great counter rebuttal to that. I had two choices a second ago. Oh, there's a lot of echo. Okay, I had two choices a second ago, and I said that a black guy and a Mexican guy both had talent. Did I not?
Yes.
So why would I be discriminating? Plus the reason
because you're not gonna watch him.
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
You'd rather watch two of your kin.
If you don't watch it, you're a racist.
If you don't, if you don't vote for if you don't watch Leo Santa Cruz,
they're not my kin because they're not my kin because Gaethje He has gay in his name, and Khabib's a Muslim.
Oh, well, actually, that's a pretty good argument. And by the
That
way,
makes sense.
I was obviously kidding about the white thing because we all know Italians aren't white. So Johnny Boy, I was just kidding about that.
Man, you better get your motherfucking silly bitch ass up out of here, ninja.
All right, Virtuoso, thank you for the contribution. He has a potato plus a knife equals French fries. I think he's threatening you, Spot.
Who's threatening me with what?
Virtuoso with a knife. He's gonna cut you up and turn it into French fries. So
He better not say that to me again. He better keep his eyes peeled before I mash his fucking head in.
there you have it, Virtuoso. You've been warned by the potato. What the hell am I saying? What's going on today? All right. What else can we talk about now, people? Let's move on away from this. The potato is right. I can't believe I'm saying it. The potato is right. This fight is garbage. Why are we wasting our time with this? Let's fucking move on. Let's move on.
Let's move on. What's it called? So did you guys see the Portland riots?
Fuck, get out of here. We're gonna why?
Hey, can I say something? Forget about the riots. It's a boxing show.
I'm kidding, Beatty. I'm joking.
Okay. I wanted to say something about the Kavaluskas fight.
Oh yeah.
Because he beat up Mikhail Zuski. Now Zuski, a lot of people are gonna say, "Who the hell is that?" I'm gonna tell you, this guy was the cream of the crop of the Canadian amateur system. Now, some of you are gonna joke and say, "Well, that's the cream of the crop of the Canadian amateur system." But hey, I've seen it personally. It's not easy to win 5 amateur titles, national titles in the amateurs. Now, he's pretty good. He's quick, but it just goes to show you how difficult it is to make it into the top 10 in any division in the pro ranks. To be a top 10 guy, you have to be good. Now, to be the best in that division, you have to be very good. Now, to be a pound for pounder, you have to be extra motherfucking good. But people don't understand. People always go, "Oh, this guy sucks. That guy's a bum. Who did this guy beat? Who did that guy beat?" There's levels in boxing.
Yo, I was just gonna.
Hold on. Just 1 second, please. 1 second. Zuski was giving Kavaluskas a good, decent fight. And then Kavaluskas stepped it up, and power became the difference. And that's the difference between good fighters, decent fighters, and then you get the great fighters. It's not just about the skill. It's also about the talent, the physical talent. And then comes the mental aspect of who's willing to throw themselves into the fire. So it was a pretty good fight that demonstrated the levels in boxing.
Good point.
I was just gonna say he looks like Telly from Kids.
What's that?
You ever seen?
I don't get that reference, man.
No.
You don't know? You never seen the movie Kids before?
Oh, is that the one where all the kids fucking and then they get AIDS at the end?
Yeah. He looks like Telly from Kids. Wiki.
I don't remember. I have only seen parts of that movie in the fucking.
Dude, pull up a picture of him real quick, Mucho. He looks just
no,
fucking.
thanks. No, any movie named Kids and you got kids having sex in there is like, nah, you're not gonna pull that shit up.
No,
I disagree though. He looks like Michael Conlon, supersized.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does look a little bit like Michael Conlon. Now that you mention it.
He's Telly from Kids. Yeah, but Kavalauskas looked like Kavalauskas looked like shit. To be honest with you, Kavalauskas looked like shit. I mean, if that guy's fucking going life and death with Terrence Crawford, who knows what Spence might do to him? You know?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. That win looks a little bit better for Crawford.
No,
remember when Crawford fought Kavaliauskas, nobody knew who he was. Now we kind of know what his skill set is, and it's not that bad. He's not a great boxer, in the same level as Spence, Porter, and all these guys. But he's a decent contender, and Crawford destroyed the guy. So
yeah.
For people to
He
say that
shows
Crawford,
when he gets
go ahead,
someone
Brian.
in trouble, he can finish.
What's that?
He is shown when he has someone in trouble, he can finish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true, Brian. That's very true.
And by the way, people in the chat room are who wins? Bucho is an Arab, says Virtuoso. Then he says, "I'm kidding. He's Mexinadian. I think that's like a mix between Mexico and Canada." John says, shout out to John Gonzalez, BDA is whatever Butcher wants him to be. Okay, wait a minute. You know what? People are obsessed with where I am. People are obsessed with race, man. That's why the United States is in the. It's not even my country, but that's why the United States is the country is in the state in which it is right now. People are obsessed with race, man. Oh boy.
Anyway, listen. I've told you this before, and I'm going to tell you this again. I hate women, fruitcakes, and black people all equally. I fucking hate you all.
Right.
So you hate yourself, essentially, or what?
No. I hate you. No, listen. I hate you all you cocksuckers. You're all fucking garbage, and you can all go to hell. I don't give a fuck.
It's a great way of making friends, man. Now listen. Listen to me here. Hey, who's that in that stream yard?
I don't know. It's Revolution, and he has. The fuck is that? It's a donkey. I think.
Oh, I get it. Donkey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, gentlemen?
Yeah, man. A little bit.
Very good, very good. Now listen, I'm here because I see Spuddy is popping up, and I challenged him, and he avoided me quite a while ago.
You look like one of the Sykes got electrocuted.
Oh.
That's because I am Electric Daddy. I am Mr. 2000, the new millennium, the internet.
Why do you sound white?
Video scope.
No, he's not Jamaican.
I know. No, he's he's on Jamaican.
He's not Jamaican. Yo, what's up, man?
Jamaicans can be white.
No, they can't. Like, come on.
It's because I have a donkey mouth and donkey teeth. I talk differently.
Why you dress like a pimp?
Okay.
Because I am, Daddy.
Blue Collar Sports TV says, "What is this? The never aired Muppets episode?" Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
The Muppets episode, man.
These are the.
I'm a Mac Daddy pimp.
The Muppets that didn't make it. Like,
yeah, the ones that died of AIDS. Yeah, what's going on here, man? Come on.
Can they speak Puppish?
It's tough. It's tough for us puppets because we always have somebody's hand up our rear end. Unless you're like me, sometimes I get my hand up somebody's rear end. Like Amir Imam, I had him on my hand for quite a while until he got knocked out.
Okay. Well, nobody has their hand up my rear end because I'm a free agent.
You know, just when I thought this show was getting creepy and weird, man, we got
really. I was just
fucking potato and I don't know what.
I say a couple.
Oh please! I ain't about to get criticized by Johnny for being creepy and weird. That's not allowed.
That's a good point.
Says the guy who just said fucking pigeon on the stream.
Hey,
that's pigeon? All right. Says the guy who's set his chest on fire and grabbed his nuts on the middle of the stream.
Jesus.
Yeah. I had to do it.
Is it me or when I look at Spuddy Spudderson, he smells like he's getting a little bit ripe? You know, like they should have cooked the potato a long time ago. You know
Mr. Famine, okay?
What's that?
They call me Spud, Mr. Famine.
I think Spuddy Spudderson sounds more. It's got a nice ring, nice thing to it. You know, it sort of jumps, it dances. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about.
I don't do rings. I've got commitment issues.
Hey, BDA, there is a historical concept to the Spud famine, Mr. Famine. So
is that so?
Yes.
Which is?
Well, I have an alternative concept. So, roughly in the 1700s, a lot of Irish people were stupid and ate a lot of potatoes and they died. A lot of them then decided to immigrate over to America. I was the lone Spud, but the Americans came back and they took me back over to the USA, to Roswell. And what they decided to do was they conducted experiments, and now I'm speaking to you via a host through telepathy.
Is that so? Well, that makes a lot of sense now.
You know, Mark, I have a in my town where I live, about 5 minutes away from me. This is so weird. There's an Irish potato famine museum.
Okay.
What kind of joint do you live in, Revolution?
In Connecticut. I don't know.
Okay, that's a bit weird that there'd be a museum for dead people.
Yeah, that
What
sounds
do they
like
have
a fucking
there?
haunted house, not a museum.
No, it's like it's on a college campus. It's like a nice newly built building.
Burn it down.
I'm
Everything else.
I'm struggling to
fuck this
understand
shit.
why
Alright.
America would have the Irish Potato Famine Museum.
No, that's it. We gotta move on, guys. I'm getting fed up of puppets and dolls and
Yeah,
pimp
there's some weirdo shit going on
camels
over
or
here.
whatever. Oh,
There's
this is
equal opportunity around here, Daddy. Listen, Ucho, if you want me to leave out there right now, kiss my fat ass.
all right. We're gonna get banned. Showing his ass. Jesus.
I'm out of here.
Now get the hell out of here, man.
Oh, look at that hair. It looks like mine.
What's
who
the
was
ginger?
that?
It's a ginger cunt.
Who was that?
Larry.
It's like a vagina. All right.
Who was that guy? Some jagoff?
What's it,
I thought this was auditions for Broadway.
Yeah, where's the auditions at? Bring them on here.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have the potato. We have Brian, and that's it so far.
We have the
All right.
potato and Spuddy.
Okay, do I need to sing?
All right. Make it quick, man.
No, I was asking, do I need to? I wasn't asking, should I?
You should.
Well, we
I've
have the
not been-
bikini contest. That's part of the
bikini
audition.
I can't take my jacket off. That's explicit.
All right, fine. Then you won't get the job. I'm sorry.
We'll get the peeler out.
What's good? What's good, Jimmy?
Is that Jimmy?
Yo, Jimmy.
Oh my God! Did I just see Jimmy's face?
No,
Jimmy?
What are you talking about, Revolution? Of
Hey,
course
guys.
you didn't.
We have Jaquan.
Shit, my bad. Big mouth.
I was raised in the projects.
Jaquan.
For that smoke, baby.
Check this out.
Oh, that was Jaquan's face.
Hey, hold on. We have, yeah, that's Jaquan. Jaquan, you there?
Yo, ready for that smoke?
Was that?
About that smoke, baby.
Nigga, I'll stomp your motherfucking head in, bitch.
The hell are you
What's good
saying,
with it?
Jaquan?
I said I'm all about that smoke. I want that smoke. Give me that smoke.
He wants to smoke. All right, what do you want to talk about?
40 and 8.
I see you got you got a little more fucking than Brian Hawkin up in this bitch. I'm
Yeah,
about
that's
to
what
say
I'm
this
talking about,
motherfucker.
bro.
I
Give
want
me
that
some of
smoke.
that smoke, dog.
Hold on,
Give me
Johnny.
some of
Let
that
him talk,
smoke.
man.
Johnny, shut up.
Jaquan,
Fuck
so
you, Revolution. Don't tell me shut up.
who do you want to debate, Jaquan? I'm confused.
Oh, I'm about the same size as Brian Hawk, baby. And I want that smoke with Brian. I'm 380 pounds, and I'm all about that smoke. Give me that smoke, Brian. I know you want it.
Yeah, if you want the smoke, go to California.
Oh,
nice.
Holy fire! That was straight fire. Literally.
You know you can do all the small talk, all the big talk, all the white talk that you want. But eventually we're gonna have to go out into the ring, baby. We're gonna have to step into that ring, and I'm gonna show you what I'm all about, baby. I'm all about that smoke.
That's fine.
Yo,
That's fine.
calm down, Jabba the cook.
Yo,
Listen
we got
to you.
potato up in the motherfucker, right? We got a potato. Let me tell you something, motherfucker. I'm from the 690. The 690. Precise 69. And I make my brothers go, oh, I ain't all about that. It takes a real man to fuck another man. You know what I'm saying? And that's right.
No,
I think
no, I don't know what you're saying.
Oh,
That's
you
not.
know what I'm saying. I'm gonna make
That's
you
not
say,
my style,
oh.
man.
I'll make you say, oh. I'm gonna make you say, oh. That's 69.
Oh.
It's gonna happen one way or the other. It's gonna happen one way or the other. Just lay down and think it, baby.
Oh, you've got a real chip on your shoulder.
Are you talking about raping a man?
That's not what I said there, Mibucho. That's not what I said. Did I say that? Can you prove that in a court of law that I said that? No, you can't. Because I cover my ass. And it's a big ass, too. If you know what I mean.
I don't need to prove it in a court of law.
Alright, check it out, man. I'm on my break right now. I'm at DMT. I gotta go. When I go back, I want that smoke.
Did he just leave? Man, oh, jeez. Man, this guy's weird, man. I don't even know why I let him on.
Where's he going back to?
I don't know. I didn't even know what he said. Yeah,
The
I know just understood
DMV.
he wanted to fuck another man.
Fair enough.
Creepy. Hey, Jimmy there, Jimmy. Jimmy. I think he's having issues with his mic.
We just gotta stop letting these people in here, man. I don't know what's going on.
Jimmy. I know.
Am I good?
Yeah, man.
Oh my god, dude, this thing was fucking kicking my ass, man.
Well, you're here now, man. Welcome.
I was just in a bad area. Sorry about that, guys. I just jumped in my car. I was at my buddy's house. Like, I'm out of here, dude. Your house sucks. It's a couple of streets over. Sorry about that.
That's fine, man. What's up?
Oh, nothing, man. I just wanted to explain why, if I was making a lot of noise, keep checking in like that and then hanging up. I just wanted to explain.
Jimmy, what's on your mind, man? Any news you want to talk about?
Oh, is that what he meant by what's up? I thought if first BD was mad that I was fucking jumping in.
No.
Man, what's up?
You're just talking about everything, man.
No, I don't know. I was like,
what's up, Jimmy?
What the fuck do you want, man? What's up?
What's up?
Nothing much, man. I can't wait to spend $75 on a PBC event.
It's coming.
$150 the next couple of weeks. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to those fights. Too bad. I mean, that would have been really nice on Showtime, but I'm gonna have to wait until Sunday
That's what
morning
I said.
now.
Listen, I'm not shitting on the Charlo fight. I'm actually very excited about that fight, and the other Charlo as well, fighting Rosario. Two good, great fights.
Match, yeah.
Just the pay-per-view thing just leaves a bad taste in my fucking mouth, man. It's like $75 for this, and then we were talking about before, Jimmy, about the Tank Davis against Leo Santa Cruz fight. We were talking about how it doesn't really make sense because one guy's moving up in weight and all that. Also, apparently, there's a good UFC fight that same night. So now, not only do they have this weird ass fight on pay-per-view, they're competing with the UFC. So this is the PBC. Did the PBC think this over?
No, not at all. Especially, I heard about that too. They're going up against a good PVC. PBC's going against a good UFC card. So that in itself, I also heard they're trying to get it. They want fans there. They're going to probably try to hold it off. They because they don't want it. They're not going to do it in an empty stadium. They can't afford it. So, but then again, I heard also what they've but it's a tricky thing. To get a stadium like that place they fought in Atlanta, I don't know if they could do that in short notice. I don't know if they have any professional, minor league teams or anything. I don't know the real history with that stadium or that place, but it's not easy just to get. It's not like a fucking town hall. The local Elks, hey, I want to, hold a banquet there in a couple of weeks. Usually need months in advance. So,
right,
but I heard
they're having that many events.
Davis is fucking them. What's that?
They're not having that many sporting events right now, so maybe it's going to be easier for them to book it. But
I just don't know where they're going to put it because you figure Baltimore. I doubt they're going to put it in his hometown. I mean, it just they don't hold many sporting events there, and I doubt that he's going to want it on the West Coast in Santa Cruz's backyard because that would give him a fan advantage. So it's they're treating Davis as the A side without a doubt.
Right.
So
but it would make sense to make it in Cali though. Well, if you make it in Cali,
of course.
The Mexicans probably will show up.
Or if Texas because it's open. It's an open
Texas
state right now. Texas, Oklahoma, Texas would be good because you can actually have fans there.
You're right. It has to be a state that's open. Yeah. Man, I can't believe that. So they haven't figured
Georgia is.
So they haven't figured this out yet.
That's what I mean. They haven't. Do they have it listed for a stadium?
Let me check
the location. Last I checked, they didn't, but they might have since. I haven't checked in a couple of weeks.
I'll check. But in the meantime, it's a fight again that doesn't really make sense. We were talking about it, but we didn't really have much to say because it's nothing. It's not a fight that's intriguing, And
he's dragging somebody up 2 weight class. Well, now it's 1 weight class. But I'm curious. Here's a kid who couldn't make 135 his last time. Remember, it took him a separate try. It took him 2 hours. He had to come back and on the second try to make the 135. So he's struggling to make 135. Historically, people don't do well when they go back down. You know what I mean? So he might be a fatigued fighter. I could see him shooting his load early. He's going to probably try to take. I mean, because if he's one, and then Santa Cruz is a high volume. If one attribute he does have is he has a good motor, he'll keep going and going.
Right.
So I think come the 6th round, put it this way: if Davis doesn't put him away, he's going to be in for a long night. Because I just think that fucking Santa Cruz can really overwhelm him with hand speed, just in and out. Depends, you know what I mean? You never know when somebody drains themselves. You might feel great, might take a nap that afternoon. Some fighters can do that. Mickey was like that. Mickey would fucking sleep like a baby day of a fight. I'm going to take a nap. He's like, go in the hotel room, people wake him up. Can't even wake the dude up. Hey, Mick, you got to go fight in a couple hours. Yeah, he always sleeps like a baby.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes I've seen fighters like in the build-up on a card, like they show them in the locker room and they're taking a nap. I'm like, Tyson Fury. I don't think it was Tyson Fury, but somebody else I saw taking a nap.
Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis was notorious for taking a nap before fights.
1 o'clock.
Kovalev.
Oh, sorry, man.
No, go ahead.
I'm having a hard time. That was a delay there. Sorry about that. Talking over you.
Yeah.
Who was saying anything?
No.
Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Lennox Lewis was notorious for taking a nap before fights.
Yeah,
it's possible.
It's crazy, right? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I know. I think myself, I'd have fucking butterflies. You know what I mean? Just the nervous action of all those people there, just everything about it. But I guess you become old hat after a while. But yeah, no. Mickey said he always slept like a baby the day of a fight. I mean, all that training too. It's all behind you. Now you're eating what you want. You know, you eat the night before what you want. Eat what you want before you go to sleep. You just don't want to eat anything too heavy because then it'll sit in your gut. Like you see some people eat spaghetti the night of a fight. That's so ridiculous. It's just too much. Yeah. Maybe spaghetti the night before, but you want your body to absorb it.
Jump Tube in the chat says it'll be an interesting fight if Davis actually makes 130. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a reason why he moved up.
I don't think it makes 130.
He might not even make the weight. I'm not even. There's no title on the line, right? So I don't think.
No, but I'm sure fucking Santa Cruz has it in the contract where at least try to. Well, it depends though too, because they're both under the same guy. But usually when there's no belt on the line, and if it's a pay-per-view, there'll be a large sum of money go to Santa Cruz. Like the guy who doesn't make weight is going to definitely pay the other guy. So the only dangers in that, some guys like fucking who didn't make weight that time? Forget. But once they decide I'm not going to make it, fuck it. I'll just, they probably plan in. I'm not going to make the weight, and I don't think Davis will do that. But just
I don't know if it's true, but somebody told me 75 grand per pound.
75 grand per pound. Yeah.
With Davis,
75 grand per pound.
Well, how much are they getting paid? Do we know?
No one knows. That's the thing. No, I don't think even. I've not even heard any purse for this fight.
I would imagine $1 million each minimum.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe 1 point something.
Yeah,
I would say so.
And this pay-per-view.
And they got to have somebody on the undercard. I don't know who they have on the undercard, but it's got to be somebody good to sell that.
They're not gonna get any. So the undercard guys are gonna get paid what? Like 100,000, 300,000, depending on who fights. Seriously, these fights should be on Showtime, man. These fights should be on Showtime. This doesn't make sense. All of a sudden, these people think that because a fighter is on pay-per-views because they believe that this fighter is pay-per-view worthy. That's not true. Like Jimmy said, I think in the last show, like he could fight me or something. We can make it a pay-per-view, but you can make any fight on pay-per-view. But what matters is how many people will watch it, and so. Stay tuned for the fucking numbers, guys.
Yeah. And the funny thing about it is UFC didn't announce their card until after this fight was announced. So,
well,
they didn't announce it.
And to think that
they don't.
We're getting Lomachenko Lopez on ESPN. If that's on ESPN, that's not a pay-per-view. How the fuck are they going to call Santa Cruz Davis a pay-per-view?
Well, exactly.
I
think
it's a much
some
more
people should be
intriguing fight.
Yeah. And a lot of these channels, they're not even happy about the Lomachenko Teofimo Lopez fight. They should be happy that it's on ESPN. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's supposed to. That's what the PBC was all about, to make fights on. Well, this isn't network television, but it's cable television.
Yeah.
You don't have to
But
pay
you know,
$75, and they're not happy about it. They're not happy.
yeah. But you know what this is, right? You know what this is great for here. You know how many eyes will be on that fight because it's so because it is on ESPN instead of instead of pay-per-view, right? They could get 4 or 5 million views on that fight alone because it's not pay-per-view, and they get I think long term, because it is a good fight and it's an intriguing fight, and both fighters, right, both fighters are very good, and I think Teofimo, if he wins this by knockout Loma on points, I think it's a very intriguing fight, and I think it will get a lot of fans and looking at it, a lot of casual fans and looking at it, and if it's a good fight, then that's all boxing wants. That's what boxing needs.
And if
Right,
it's a good fight, maybe you can make it a pay-per-view. Maybe you can make that rematch a pay-per-view. I remember Morales Barrera, first fight HBO, second fight pay-per-view, third fight pay-per-view. Fair enough. I mean, the first fight was crazy, so it's a move that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's great exposure for both guys.
Absolutely.
That's what that is, and they'll get a lot more eyes on it than if it was on pay-per-view.
Yep. I mean, they had the
That's
Charlos fight on Fox. That's when then both of the Charlos fought on the same card. You had obviously that Charlo Korobov fight.
Korobov, yeah.
That was a fight, and that fight was boring, man. That fight was actually boring, and he was on Fox. This was his chance to be impressive and show the world, I am Charlo, man. I'm in the middleweight division. I want to fight Canelo. I'm an American and all that shit. Nah, man. Everybody forgot about that fight. It was boring as fuck. And now he's on pay-per-view. So, the only people who are going to buy that pay-per-view are real boxing fans. Casual boxing fans, they probably won't buy it, man.
Yeah, that's it. You go into the ESPN page, right? And you know that there thing where it says more sports?
Yeah.
And you click on it. Boxing is the 8th sport down in it.
Yeah.
I've done the thing, I've done the counting.
Yeah.
Right? Boxing's not even a feature on the main page.
It's pathetic. Yeah,
So it's
I
not.
know. I think UFC is there, no? In the main bar?
I think UFC is there, yeah.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity for boxing because the ratings, I'm waiting for them to come right now. Actually, I'm trying to get them all together for the football. It's going to say a lot. Major League Baseball ratings are down 28%. NFL, the worst opening day in 16 years. No, I'm longer than that. I think it was 26 years. 26 years. Crazy. What's that, Smither? Yeah, 16% down from the opening night, but yesterday was all the games. Like, I didn't watch it for the first time in 23 years. I didn't watch the Patriots opening day. I still don't even know who won the game. I don't care. I'm done. Anybody backs that fucking Marxist organization. And all those, Red Sox has Black Lives Matter across the Fenway in the back. It's been targeted with people have been driving by with paintball guns and shooting it up. And because, look what happened to that cop kid. Actually, not to go down that route. I'm just saying, because of all these major league sports in the United States got woke, the old go woke, go broke, they've turned off so many people. So people are starving right now for sports, entertainment, without a political angle.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an opportunity for boxing is basically what I'm saying. If they put on good product right now, they could gain, because I'm telling you, man, everybody I know who weren't boxing fans before are really upset because now they're not watching baseball, they're not watching football.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
People would think, with all the, everything closed down, sports was away, people would be super excited coming back because, finally we could watch sports. But the games are all fucked up looking, and it doesn't help you escape from reality is what I'm trying to say. You look at it and there's no fans and there's the Black Lives Matter and all this shit, and it doesn't take you away.
And
so you're like, fuck.
It's also different to fight a crowd. It feels different. It feels so much
Yeah, that's
slow.
also an issue, man. the crowd.
In the NBA too, to be fair, the NBA isn't just Black Lives Matter. In fact, I forget the poll. Majority of the fans are angry about the China involvement, about them bad mouthing the United States, like LeBron bad mouthing the United States about everything, but then attacks people who talks bad about China, who has freaking concentration camps, 57 concentration camps chock full with Uyghur Muslims, re-education camps. You ever see the pictures of that fucking horror show? And there's this fucking LeBron James sticking up for him.
I expect boxing
It's
to
not a
take the
good look.
same. The boxing is gonna do the same thing. I think they're gonna have like a 10 seconds for somebody that got shot. It's gonna become political as well. I think.
I think today was the day they got the grand jury together for Breonna Taylor. So if they come back without any indictments, which if you read the case, they shouldn't indict any of these cops at all. They did follow procedure. If people don't like no-knock warrants, that's a separate issue. But they did what they were supposed to do. That whole rumor that it was a wrong apartment, she was in bed shot. No, none of that. Her boyfriend was. I mean, they have video surveillance. Packages being dropped off at her house, picked up, brought to a trap house. Her boyfriend, one of her boyfriends in our jailhouse, recorded phone call saying, "I got 14,000 there now. Breonna's going to pick up another 4K for me now." I mean, I heard Channel 3, it was a local station, played it. So plenty of evidence. She was a suspected drug trafficker. But again, it just boom. Same thing with yesterday in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Guy come charging out the door, try to stab a cop. It was nothing. Just ran out the door with a fucking knife, trying to swing at the cop. Cop turned around, ran away from the dude. Had to finally turn around, shoot, and shot him. What happened? BLM took to the streets and rioted. Why? Now it's just so any police shooting, or it's gotten to that point. So it's just not a good look. So these sports teams tie themselves into this shit. It wasn't smart. But yeah, so today we're going to find out a lot, because they're already saying if no indictments have come down, they're going to fucking tear the city up.
That's sounds like a third world country, man. All right. Well, how do we get into this? Oh yeah, we got into this because we were talking about the pay-per-views that we're getting.
Yeah,
with
it's an
boxing.
opportunity. Yeah, it's a opportunity for boxing, because everybody's pissed at all the other sports right now.
Jimmy,
do
what
the
would
right
you
thing.
do?
Put on some quality shit.
As a boxing promoter, as a boxing manager, whatever, what would you do, Jimmy, to improve the sport of boxing?
I would sit the guys down right now. I would fucking just tell them, listen, we're gonna this is our opportunity, man.
Jimmy, but you gotta tell them.
Call the other the other fucking promoters and say, let's do this. Let's get these guys in there. This is our chance to steal a bunch of fans who want your sports and no political bullshit. Come into your music, dance, act a clown, but as long as it's boxing related, I would just lay the line down.
Jimmy, how would you deal with the whole money issue, though? I mean, there's no crowd, so obviously, you have to convince these fighters to take a pay cut. Right?
I would fight. I would have them fight in towns that allow crowds. I'd say, well, you don't have to fight at home. If you're home, like Massachusetts wouldn't allow a crowd, but then you go to Texas, hold a fight in Florida, hold a fight in some state, that allows it. Fucking out of the country. I don't know. I guess even Mexico is pretty bad about the lockdown, but I would do Texas.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, Fury against Wilder, talking about doing it in that stadium. What's it called? Allegiant Stadium? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Whatever, where that football team is in Las Vegas. They're gonna have a crowd of around 10,000, I believe. So obviously, it's gonna be spread out. But
yeah, they're gonna try to do which is just it's absurd.
I know.
It's just stupid, absurd. Man.
This is so ridiculous. This is never gonna end, by the way, people. I mean, but anyways,
you watch right after November 3rd, it will, because if Trump's president, then because the reason they're holding the lockdowns, not to go off into politics, but I'm just being honest, because it relates to the sport. This is all related to that, because the Democrats are trying to keep the economy shitty, and they didn't think that he would do as well. Like other states come back, so I think once this all ends November 3rd, I just think it's going to all win, lose, or draw. Plus, the world might catch on fire that day, too. But I'm just saying, I think a lot of it would end. But this is an opportunity for the sport to shine. And it seems like they're kicking themselves in the dick. I mean, our number one star is in a fucking I want $35 million to fight somebody nobody knows. I don't even give a fuck how good the dude is if the fucking shit ain't lucrative. If it isn't going to get the fucking people's juices flowing, then what are you doing? And fuck the WBC. Take their belt and shove it up their asshole. You don't need them.
Yeah.
For nothing.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Canelo. Yeah, he's the face of
He's a
boxing.
franchise. Exactly. He don't need a belt. Think Mexicans care? I mean, maybe some purists might get upset, but
no, nobody cares. Nobody cares. But it's not about the belt, Jimmy. It's about him. I don't know who's writing this. It's the Zone. Are they in the wrong because they're supposedly they rejected the opponents that Canelo suggested? I don't think that's true, man. Somebody has to be lying. First of all, who do you think is lying, Jimmy?
well, I just can't see a company, right? I can see them saying, we'll give you X amount of dollars for so many fights, spread out, right? But I would think it's common sense. I mean, if you're a $1 billion corporation, right, something the size of, well, the Zone, the money they had dumped into that entity, you would think they would have hired the best fucking lawyers and would have thought everything out long term. It's just to think that they would let a fighter fight just anybody for $35 million a whack. It just, I mean, any one of us could have told him, that guys, that ain't a good idea. You're going to lose so much money so quick. How are you going to stay afloat? So it's probably, I don't know how. I'd love to see how they read, his contract's written, but I just can't picture them thinking it was all right to pay $35 million to have him fight. I don't even remember the kid's name, but.
No, yeah, the Yildirim guy. That'll be apparently Canelo wasn't even thinking about fighting him, but who knows? Maybe yes, maybe not. But Canelo also suggested Billy Joe Saunders' name and Callum Smith. Those two names make sense. They're both champions at 168. So for the Zone to reject those fights, then I don't know what the hell the Zone thinks is an elite fight. Besides the Golovkin fight, they consider Golovkin elite.
Yeah,
Who else?
The Billy Joe Saunders that's curious because he is a champion, and that fight would sell definitely with the hardcores. Put it in England, or it would actually have to be here. I don't think it would be a dog, but at the same token, I think they were probably just trying to tie him down with Gennady. Let's be honest, that's the one they wanted to make the fight with, because that would have been a huge influx in cash for the corporation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think by not doing that, fucking hurt the company. I think they were planning on that.
Yeah, I think Canelo didn't want that Golovkin third fight, and then he wanted it, but then, from what I understand,
and I think Wilder losing and Joshua losing hurt too, because that was going to be. I mean, I don't know if he was so much under the Zone, but Eddie Hearn, isn't he involved with? I would think they were probably trying to plan on that somehow. They were involved in the big Wilder Joshua fight. But they've both lost since then.
I think both sides are disappointed at what happened. At that fight.
Yeah, apparently there were three people's. The Zone wanted them to fight. One was Khabib, right? The other one was Golovkin, and the other one, believe it or not, was Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah, I heard that. Jimmy, do you think that's true? That De La Hoya is actually an opponent that the Zone suggested or would accept?
For Canelo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, if they did, then fuck them. They're in the wrong sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
seriously?
They're in the money sport, Jimmy. They're in the money sport. They're making money.
Yeah, but he's a junkie. You know what I mean, dude? I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, dude. I'm not trying to shit on people who have problems. But, dude, he's deteriorated his body just because he has a fucking orange glow suntan. His insides, dude, are probably 100 years old. He's been beating his body up with cocaine and whiskey for a long time.
And I think he went back to it at some point, and then you could see he bloats up in weight. His skin.
Bloats wicked, dude. Yeah, you can tell he's doing interviews and his nose is running. He's wiping it with his fucking. It's in the summer. He's wiping his nose every 10 seconds. Dude, try not to do gaggers so close to when you know you're going to be on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I heard he was doing. I heard he was doing bumps right there at the stands. He was putting his nose down to his jacket, he was kind of talking on the phone and doing bumps. Oh yeah, yep. I heard that from people who wouldn't make shit like that up. That he was that bad if it wasn't like at a big fucking pay-per-view fight, but on those Friday night fight situations, the one with Tom Loeffler had, De La Hoya showed up to 2 of them, and I heard he was banging lines pretty much out in the open.
Yeah, when I think of Canelo versus Oscar now, I just think about Manny Pacquiao versus Oscar 10 years ago. Only 10 times worse.
The 10 times worse, absolutely. This is,
and that's with that's 1.5 kilos ago.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It's worse than Camacho against Leonard, Camacho, Duran. At least both of them were older, even though one was older than the other one. But at this point, I mean, one fighter is in Canelo, he's in his prime. The other one is.
You could kill him, dude. Literally, you could kill him.
Hey, if they sanction that, nobody should sanction that fight. Nobody should, no commission, no state athletic commission would even fucking do. Well, they probably will do it, but they shouldn't. It's a crime.
Yeah,
it's
a crime.
Yeah, apparently those
exactly.
were the 3 fights.
That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah,
fucking crime. That is exactly the best way to describe
it. Golovkin's the only one there I could see that, makes any freaking sense.
Yeah, but even then, if you think about it, Golovkin, his best days are gone. Seriously, for a while.
The 2 fights he had with Canelo were competitive. That's the only,
Yeah,
that's the only saving grace in that.
Yes,
that's the only reason anyone would want to see that fight again, because the 3 fights he had were competitive. It's not like Wilder Fury, and I don't want to bring that up, but that's what it is. That's the comparison.
I think the Big Bear fucking aged him as bad as the fights.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think fighting at Big Bear aged him as much as fucking those fights did. I despise the fucking idea that he still trains at Big Bear. It's so stupid. Taxes your body so hard for what? The gains you get out of it don't last the length of the time, because most time you come on down off the mountain 7 to 10 days, up to 2 weeks before the fight. All your body becomes almost back to normal. You know what I mean? Like if you just come off the mountain and fight 2 nights after coming off the mountain, that's one thing. But now the more studies I read about evolution, height training like that, it's not worth it for what it does to the human body. Real taxing.
You said boxers would wake up with nosebleeds, or what?
All the time. Mickey did. Mickey trained there twice. He said, "Nah, never again." It just took.
Are you saying it's an old school type of thing? Yeah, it's like
what's that?
It's an old school traditional type of thing, like that. Maybe we should move on from that.
Well, Big Bear has been around since I think they turned that into boxing. They started doing that in the 70s. Prior to that, no, it was all normal level elevation, because it taxes your body. What do they call that? It's that line, vertical limit. Yeah, the vertical limit line. If you're into mountain climbing or even hiking, they'll tell you're almost reaching vertical limit, meaning now you're running into problems where you can die from just the lack of oxygen. So what happens? Like, say vertical limits, 23,000 feet, and you're training at 17. Like, why? You're killing your body's fighting so much harder for oxygen. Put yourself in a mindset. Your body's a machine, right? I mean, it's like, why starve it of a certain fuel it needs to survive and grow? It was under the mentality, like, by the time which does happen. So what happens? It makes your red blood cells bigger. Right. It's almost like blood doping. So when you get back down on the sea level, you get your one blood cell carries that oxygen cell now is so much bigger. So it brings more oxygen to your muscles being worn. But he's coming down off the mountain 10 days, up to 2 weeks on average, from when every time I check before he gets into the fight. And then he's fighting it in Vegas too, which is below sea level, or very close to it. So he's going as low as he can. It's just, I think he's hit walls. I think he hit wall against. I saw it in Jacobs. It's like he could only go so hard, and it's almost like you always expected me like he had another gear, like he kept, all right, go, but he wouldn't, because it's almost like he didn't want to get caught sucking oxygen and not being able to land a hard shot. Everything was so predicated on his punching power. He never really learned. He never worked in the combination and getting in there and dogfighting. Because how many times do you say to yourself, "Oh man, right there, dude, you're in perfect position. Throw to the body, come back to the head," but he just wouldn't. I think a lot of that he was afraid to burn the engine out because he knew what he could handle. But so I thought that's why he looked real old against the Russian kid too.
Yeah, it's such a change to the body.
Shocks the body. It's not necessary. It's like those
Maybe
people
at a
wear
certain
masks.
age. I remember Hopkins. Sorry to. So go ahead. I was saying.
I meant to hit you before I did.
Oh, okay. No, I was saying. I remember Hopkins said that as you get older, you have to change your training. That way you train, obviously, because you have to adapt to the
Train
new
smart.
reality.
Train smart, not
train
hard.
smarter. Yeah, exactly. You're not young anymore, so switch it up, and maybe that's what also helped. Well, Hopkins was a health freak and all that, but also because he knew how to change his training, and so he lasted longer. But when you're still training like Golovkin and you're like 30 in your mid-30s and older, maybe yeah.
Yeah, a lot of older fighters now are doing a lot of swimming.
Exactly. It's the best exercise calisthenics you can do because there's no running running on. Listen, how long have we had concrete? Think about it. 100 years, 120 years. How long has the human body had to get used to running on concrete? Humans throughout history, we're just like any other animal. We adapt. There's and there's things like drinking milk. So some people lactic, we never did that. We never went up and sucked on a nipple on a cow for thousands of years. So that's the reason why the human body's not really used to it. Same thing with running on cement is terrible for your joints because the human body's not adapted. We're not.
Yeah,
if you look at X-rays, and when they do bio machines on a computer, and they can do test loads, and they can take the tensile strength of bone and ligament, and they run computer tests. And if you were designing a machine to run on cement, and if you put in those same specs, the machine is expected to fucking last 2 days worth of use. I saw a big special on it. It's just terrible for the human body.
The knees and everything. Yeah,
So
the
just things like
basketball
that.
players. Basketball players have a lot of injury in the knees, also because they're jumping up and down and stuff. But maybe it has to do that. Constantly running.
Of course it does. Coming down on hard fucking floors. Well, yeah. And plus the elongated the longer a limb is and the longer the tendons, just more place to damage. But yeah, that's exactly why. And that's why swimming is excellent. There's no resistance. But that's why everybody's like surfers in Hawaii. Those motherfuckers get underwater to condition. They carry rocks and run along the floor of the water. It's crazy, man. But that's that's an awesome way to train. Get your lungs burning, muscles burning.
I want to read a comment from Chet Collins. He sent a super chat before. He says, "What's up, my N-words? Hope you're all good." All right. What's up, man?
What's up, brother?
But yeah, why do we start? Oh yeah, the knees, the shoes, the running.
Jimmy, I got a training question. Another little quick training question for you. What should you eat on a day if you know you're going to train?
A day gonna train? Well, like what? No, like you mean sparring or working out with weights?
Like sparring.
Well, the night before is the most important thing. The night before you go to bed, the night before, say the next day you're gonna spar 4 in the afternoon. Just say the night before, carb load before you go to bed. Pasta, fucking parental raw food. Not too much dirty carbs. Dirty carbs is candy bars. That's a lot of sugar. That's sugar carbs. I'm talking pasta, anything, even that's a dirty carb too in itself, but anything along those lines, pasta, rice, fucking, and like you can do a good protein meal too, throw a lot of protein, and you want your muscles not to be, you want your glycogen level, your liver, that's your fuel tank. You want to fill that motherfucker up with glycogen. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? When you're working out real hard and you get that pump in your muscle, you ever get, you know what I mean? You're working chest or your arms, you're getting a pump. That pump is the blood in your muscle and it's carrying all the, nutrients, the niacin and all that shit. So you want to make sure that when it does that, though, it drains your liver. So you want to rest. I wouldn't do too much if the night you're going to train, like you're going to spar, real spar. Just eat a lot of carbs the night before. And whatever you do, don't eat any kind of heavy meats. within like 3 hours. Because
Okay.
I can cripple you over with a body shot. Yeah, make sure like, if you're going to eat like tuna or even chicken, but say before, I would have it no later than 12 in the afternoon. After that, just if you get hungry, carbs. Just worry about your carbs. I wouldn't go heavy, eating anything heavy.
Eggs.
You could do a protein drink. Oh, yeah, you could do eggs. You
Okay.
could do eggs. That's great protein. Or fish, too. Fish is awesome. You can do fish up to probably an hour and a half. Because it's so watering. That's the best proteins. Your body breaks down fish the best. Because why? Because like everything else, right? We're engineered. After thousands of years, man, that was always the easiest thing to feed us were fish. That's why civilizations were always near water. You know what I mean? To this day, all your major cities, it was because the ocean was the fucking gift, man. And that's all we ever fed and ate on.
Hey, Jimmy.
So that's why your body, yes.
In the chat, Mickey, people are talking about Mickey Ward and say Mickey was probably in 100 of bar room brawls. Was he in a lot of bar fights?
Yes. And before, when I say that, right, people say, oh, wow, he's probably a punk. That was not the case. I was there for many of them, and it was never him starting. And most times he was trying to fucking keep people out of fights. No, hold on. I shouldn't have said it. A couple of times, yeah, he might have got a couple of times I thought, oof, Mickey didn't give him much leeway there before he gave that kid a smack. Yeah. All right. You got to understand, right? You got to understand there's things that make a person, right? And one of the things that made kids from Lowell, where I live, like there's a thing you can get on. Anybody can Google it right now. If you want to kind of get the feel of Lowell, what it's like, it's about a wrestling coach, George Bossy. He was Mickey's coach. He was a wrestling coach here for like 70 years, and winning his high school coach, but a lunatic. But anyways, he shows kids, and they show them running through the neighborhoods, and they kind of talk to the kids, and these kids kind of explain what it's like. All around our city, right? Because this should be a textile city. So all the suburbs around, like Chelmsford, Westford, these towns surrounding us are wealthy. That's where all the fucking wealthy people who own the mills moved. You know what I mean? So inevitably, that's more. So Lowell, like I said, dude, no bullshit. I was dating a black girl, right? She was a mulatto, but she was fucking gorgeous, man. But anyway, shit together. On the way to her house, we had a couple of guys who had Acre Boxing Club, Lowell, it says Acre Boxing Club, Lowell jackets. We get to the door, she turns to me, she goes, oh my God, all right, make sure you don't tell my father you're from Lowell.
You told us.
Oh my God, he'll fucking kill me. I told you that. Dude, so I'm like, wow. And my buddy goes, did you hear that? Did you? And how'd you make that made me feel? Of course, like, so my family's dirt. I'm from Lowell. I'm an instant criminal. So because of years of generations going back way before my father's day, what ends up happening, you become what they fear. Right, so what I mean by Lowell, like Geraldo Herrera came here in 2020, back in the early 80s, to do a show just about the violence of the city.
Yeah, well,
just about the violence. And I'm not talking about shootings. I'm talking barroom fights. This city there was fist fights. Kids like, I swear to God, Kevin Sullivan, I talk about one of the toughest human beings that you'd ever meet in your life, dude. Like, just crazy tough. 18 years old, he used to walk around. Well, he's the one who beat the fuck out of Glenn Aho. Glenn Aho is the one who signed with the WWE. Glenn Aho is 6'9", dude, like 300, and fucking, he come out of the Marines. It was Kevin. Kevin had a cast on and still whooped his ass, a cast from his ankle to his hip. But no, Kevin's he's just an insane fucking fighter. But anyways,
no wait, wait, I'm sorry. His name is Kevin Sullivan though, because there is a fucking
Kevin Sullivan.
There's a famous wrestler from the Boston
area. Oh my God, dude. Yes, that's Kevin. I thought you meant pro wrestler. You mean high school wrestler like Roman Greco?
Well,
you mean like high school wrestler?
I think he did that. Yeah, he did that, and he was a bodybuilder too. But he wrestled in Florida. He wrestled in WCW.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't know. No, Kevin never went to that, but he was an All-American wrestler in high school.
That's so fucking.
That's what his thing. So yeah, and shit. So he
Google the name.
Well, when I was in fucking, like I said, when I was dating, I was living in South Boston, right? And South is kind of like Lowell in a different kind, but for a different reason. And when I remember when those kids were looking at me, and one of them, sure enough, walked over, I was just with myself, and these dudes were like 7 deep. Where you from? And I'm like, fuck, here we go. I'm like, I'm Lowell. Lowell, huh? And right away, he goes, Kevin Sullivan? And I'm like, all right, what do? I say no? Is that like, because if I say no, I didn't want to punk out. He's my boy. been hanging with the kid since I was 12 years old, right? I'm like, yeah, he's a good friend of mine. He goes, no shit. You know that motherfucker broke both my cousin's collarbones? I goes, your cousin from Charlestown? He goes, yeah. Before a match, this kid kept giving Kevin a finger at the fucking wrestling match, and so Kevin showed him, he's like, I'm gonna souffle you, dude. I'm breaking your collarbones. Dude, he snapped both the kids' collarbones. He got suspended his senior year for that. Yeah, broke both his collarbones. Dude was crazy tough. Strong as fucking, he had like that crazy retard strength, and he had that hyper tempo. No, dude, I saw him put a state trooper's head through it. He was off duty, Paul Haley. State trooper, right? Fucking shaved head, fucking no attitude, but he was a neighborhood dude. He was home visiting, and he would stand in front of Alton Cleaners, which is next to 7-Eleven, and we were running into 7. It was like 2 in the morning. It was Paul. He goes, "What's up, Kevin? You still being an idiot?" Like that. I was like, "What?" Like, you never would have said something like that to Kevin. Like, everybody's like, I was thinking, Kevin, what the fuck did you just say to me? Dude, grabbed him by his face and just shoved his head right through Anton Cleaner's windows. And the sheet of glass, dude, at the last second, Kevin pulled him back. The sheet of glass come down like a guillotine. Probably would have killed him. Fuck, he's like, Kevin, what the fuck? And he's like, Paul, the only reason why I'm not killing you right now is because you're a state trooper. But he didn't, it ended there. But I'm telling you, that's the kind of dude Kevin was. Like, oh, man, I can't even. All right, quick story. Billy Sullivan, here's another kid. It was that kid next generation after Kevin. His father's doing life in prison for murder. He's just a vicious, nasty street fighter. Grab your headbutt you. Put it this way, he's right. He might be out now. He got a 10-year bid for going. He saw a house party in Tingsboro. Him and another dude, he pulled over and he said, do a house party. They went to go in without inviting. And when they told him he had to leave, he ended up beating the fuck out of everybody in the house. Dude,
Everybody in the house.
He got
What do you
10
mean
years in
everybody
prison.
in the house? What do you
So,
mean everybody? Everybody.
So this is what Kevin did to him. What's up?
You said everybody?
Dude, he started pounding at everybody. He started beating. Dude, he wasn't kind of there. I feel bad for him. We used to see him sit in front of 7-Eleven. He always eating ice cream. What it was my cousin was one of them. A bunch of people, because he couldn't work. He just wasn't that mindset, but he was a heavyweight wrestler and shit. But dude, Billy Sullivan, he had his face always scarred up. He wasn't the smartest kid, but what happened, like my cousin, a few other people paid him each threw in $200 a week. So, they got him an apartment, and what they did, they all sold weed. And if anybody was late on paying weed, the weed they fronted, you never know. In that game, it's always good to have somebody to go to someone's door. And that's all he did for years. Like, dealers just all, like, co-opt and paid him to go. So, but anyways. So one day, we're at the Don Pulowski Club. It was for a Jack and Jill before people get married. Actually, one of Mickey's cousins. Billy's in there now. Now Billy's got a wicked reputation in the city. He's been banging kids out left and right. So we come walk in. He's like, "Kev, what's up, buddy?" And he smacked Kevin in the arm. He's like, "Oh, well, we haven't seen each other in a while." And then when we come back to the table, I don't know what he said. The next, Kevin picks the table, fucking throws the table away, and open hand cracks him. Oh, wow. Pick that dude up. And this is where all leading to this. To pitch how tough this kid is, Billy Sullivan. When he was on the floor, Kevin didn't start hitting him, but it was on top of him. And all Billy is calm as can be. He's like, "Kevin, I'm wicked sorry for disrespecting you, dude. I don't know what I was thinking, bro. Please don't kill me." And when I tell you, everybody's standing like, wow, Billy Sullivan. Billy Sullivan fought Ross Perot. Ross Perot, he's this fucking monster juice head, was in the WWE. Dude, he fist fought this kid, and they punched each other like claps of thunder hitting each other. This kid, Billy Sullivan, I can't begin to tell you, just a straight, me and a baseball bat I'd be like, oh, fuck, I need a spike with this bat. That's how tough this kid was. And he was on the ground going, "Kevin, I'm sorry for disrespecting you." That's how tough Kevin was. Like, Kevin was an elite street fighter. He was known. All right, Tank Abbott, the dude, the WAFC?
Yeah.
The guy, Tank Abbott? Kevin beat the fuck out of him in 23 seconds, dude, in a fist fight in Florida.
No way.
The cop that beat, the cop, that Irish cop who fought fucking,
Kimbo?
Who beat Kimbo Slice? Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Kevin's the one who broke that cop's eye socket and had swelling on his brain. Dude, no, listen, Kevin is a killer, dude. He beat fucking Tank Abbott like a woman. Like a woman, dude. He just grabbed him and started hammering him. Whoosh, whoosh. And fucking his arms were flapping. He was trying to get a hold of him. And then once he did, Kevin lifted him up over his head, souffled him on his neck, spun over, dropped some elbows, and fucking that was it. He was out. The ref ran in. because they fought in an underground fight. Yep.
Jesus.
That's what Kevin did, that underground fighting for a few years.
Damn.
Yeah, he beat that Irish dude real bad. You ever see that fight he fought Kimbo Slice?
Yeah, the
That
UFC.
Irish cop
Oh yeah,
from
it was
Boston.
a fucking war of
Yep.
attrition.
Yep. Kevin fucking destroyed that dude. It wasn't even close. Destroyed him like he owed him money. So that's when I tell you how tough Kevin Sullivan was. But yeah, no. So because of that, Lowell was just all surrounded by wealthy towns. And so we had a culture here, like everybody was afraid of us. We would just, so we played that up. But anyway, so that's why that mindset. So Mickey comes from that mindset. That was a long detour. I just get carried away thinking of my youth back in the 90s. Shit was out of control in the 2000s. But Mickey was like that, though. Mickey was like Mickey would say, dude, nah, man, you don't fight Kevin Sullivan, dude. You run him over with your car. He would laugh about it. Because even Mickey knew. He just didn't. But Kevin loved Mickey, like worshipped him. Like Mickey couldn't get in a fight with Kevin there. Because Kevin would come over and Kevin came so close to flipping a car over with 4 kids in it. He come running down in his Fruit of Balloons because they beeped. His wife was trying to get out of the driveway, and the fucking kids wouldn't move. College kids. Loli lives right next to the campus, and she's like, "What?" And oh my God, she's got a mouth on her, anyways. But get that fucking kid in it, and they ran their mouth. And Kevin goes running because he lived 2 doors from my father. So even as he grew up, he lived right next door to my parents. So I knew everything was in his life still. So, dude, my father said, Jimmy, he had the car on 2 wheels. Get out of the car! He's fucking shaking up and down because they ran his mouth to his wife. Oh my God, my father said all 4 kids' eyes were the size of saucers just staring at Kevin. Yeah, I knew it, the kid. Yeah, you just didn't want to fucking fight him. Even the Hells Angels knew him. Like, the Hells Angels offered to buy him a motorcycle.
You want to
swear to God, dude, ride a motorcycle. They were going to patch him. If he wanted to be an HA, dude, I'm telling you right now, they would have just straight patched him. That's
no waiting.
Because they would go to, because the Hells Angels also threw a lot of the fucking parties. I mean, those underground fights, they were involved in that.
Oh, okay.
So they saw Kevin in action, so they loved him. So they knew Kevin, and they hung out at the pot, it's because the Lowell Clubhouse, not far from where I live now. But yeah, no, dude, yeah. So, but no, Mickey was in that culture. Mickey was one of those dudes, so he just didn't disrespect him. Like if you said something to Laurie, that was it. There was no fucking, like those kids one time, 3 dudes in a car driving by real slow. Laurie had those tight ass fucking jeans on. And I'm telling you, Laurie, honestly, his wife, and I'm an ass man, Laurie Carroll had one of the, I'd tell him if he was on the phone, I'd say, Laurie Carroll had one of the nicest asses. Dude, she had she had such a banging ass. So, of course, tight jeans, walking across the street with her friend, and these cars stop. This car stops, and these kids stop, fucking beep, beep, beep. She's like, and we're all sitting there, we were playing handball. And Mickey's like, dude, are they talking to? And before I can even turn, he's running up the street. Oh, yeah, dude. They pulled over. Mickey pulled them out of the car, dude. He fucking whopped them. He gave them all beatings because they were all running their mouth. Because she told them something, they said, fuck you. So, yeah. I've only seen Mickey fight one-on-one a few times. Most of the times, he was hitting a few people if he got that mad. Yeah, he was usually banging a few people out. You got to understand, dude, when, I hear people say, like, I don't care who the fucking fighter is. I don't care if it's Ryan Garcia. Like, someone's a professional fighter. I mean, think about what everybody here does all day long for a living, right? These guys punch for a living. It's all they do, punch. They're so accurate. They're so quick. And unlike street fights, people are like, should I throw a punch? They just step in, boom, spin their hips, and they hit you. And people don't realize, everybody thinks you have to be hit wicked hard to go out. It's not that at all. But you guys know it's timing and speed. Just boom, one right on the chin. Turn that fist over, hit. Most civilians get punched in the face, and that's usually it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Noticed it's like they're not used to also, right? There's something about boxing that you train your brain to take a punch. Some people, like, I don't know, they're not used to getting hit, basically.
No.
And then you hit them
and,
on the right
and a lot
spot,
of people have been afraid of it.
Yeah.
It's a mental block. Most people after they've been in a fight, they don't realize, like, wow, it doesn't hurt as much. And especially while you're fighting, it never hurts
the
while you're
adrenaline
fighting.
and all.
Because your adrenaline's flowing. It's always later.
That's true.
Yeah.
I remember Arturo Gatti when he was in Brazil, and he started punching a bunch of people. Remember, that's why apparently somebody threw a bike at him, and that's why he had that cut on his head. But somebody
Taxi driver gave testimony that Toro gave a put one kid in a hospital and
Yeah.
beat another kid deaf.
Yeah. He's knocking them out like
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom.
Toro hung around with the Hells Angels too. He was real deep. I
Yeah,
heard he
that's
actually joined. I don't know. I can't
Every
confirm that.
boxer over here,
But
like they have connections with the bikers and all. Some
yeah,
boxers.
and I know Toro was big into it. They're big in Montreal, the Hells
Yeah. Oh
Angels,
yeah.
especially back when Mom
Yeah.
whatever
No,
he was in
Bouchard.
charge.
Yeah.
He was yeah, he loved the Toro.
Well, everybody did, I guess. So yeah.
No, Toro liked to drink. He liked to smoke weed. He liked to do his lines. Unfortunately, got into heroin, and that was a mistake.
Oh really?
Can't maintain. Yeah, oh yeah, he was doing heroin
But
at
when?
one
Like at
point.
the
Yep. In between when he kind of after he lost, and then he was thinking about retiring, and then he kind of did a semi-retirement. This is before Mickey. There was a comeback. It was all he was bringing his career back when he fought Mickey. Mickey was supposed to be a name on the way to get back his belt. He just wanted that way. He was the last name. If he beats Mickey, he's going for the fucking championship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it ended up getting. And Mickey was like, how many times? Mickey was always that name you were supposed to beat up. And I used to drive him. He used to love being just the name. That was his thing. You're like, oh yeah, I can't win.
Yeah.
Some people motivated by that, but yeah. And Toro was a very violent kid on the street, like a lot more violent than Mickey. Like he'd be real quick to smash. He'd admit though, he'd get drunk and he was notorious for slapping his women too. Let's not kid around, man. That bitch, she's a skank for killing him, but he absolutely slapped her around.
Do you think she paid
I
somebody?
mean, it was not. No, I think she had family there who did it.
Family? Oh my god.
Yeah, because she had.
That would
I
make
mean, there
more
was a reason she.
sense, yeah.
Right after he signed after he reneged on he tore up the prenup.
Yeah.
The minute he got the money to her name, first thing she does is set it on a vacation. These guys can go anywhere they want, but she wants to go there in a town where she has cousins. Come on, you know what I mean? Listen, the FBI. A retired FBI agent and a detective from Boston was hired by WBZ, and they did an extensive reacting. They bought the exact same purse that he supposedly hung himself with, and at the time he weighed 180 pounds.
Yeah,
and they kept taking
it
dead weight.
It wouldn't support the weight, right?
No, the longest it held was, I think the longest time it held without snapping was 11 seconds.
Which not enough.
Do you know how long? No way, dude. Minutes. You need minutes. Listen, when you hang yourself, if you don't snap your neck, like, if you're going to hang yourself, you're going to jump off something and hope the rope snaps your neck, like you put the knot off to the right or left to try to snap it. Dudes who just sit there and hang themselves? Come on,
They
dude.
made a documentary.
You got to hang yourself for a long time.
Yeah, they hired private detectives and they showed this documentary on CBC, which is like the BBC but Canadian. Anyways, they showed this documentary, but at the end, like the narrator says, like, well, we gotta understand that these people, these private detectives that are trying to recreate the whole scene, they are coming in with a bias because they're trying to prove something already. So that's supposedly that affects the test.
Okay, but right. Okay, let's take that. Let's take that for what it is. Okay, they came in with a bias. Fine, they admit it. Does that change the physical?
No, exactly.
Evidence. It doesn't change the physical evidence. That would not hold the weight, no matter what. First, they try to spin it a little, because remember, human body, right as you're starting to check out, right before the lights go out, it's just going to start going back and forth violently.
Yeah.
Even when your hands down by your side to fight for life, your body, even on its own, without its brain, is going to fight to live. So even they couldn't even they were going to shake how it would get violent if it held. They had it all figured out how to do it. Dude, they never could even get to that level. The minute they hung the weight, they just tried to let it go. The longest it lasted before snap. I mean, it would literally start stretching immediately. And there's like, the guy's like, there's just no fucking way. And Mickey's actually talked to the Boston dude who was in on him. And he's like, the guy was adamant. He's like, dude, everything. Okay, then you take other things, dude. This kitchen, dude, was tiny. It was 10 feet by 7 feet with a little center table piece, right? And then there's the refrigerator. She's trying to say she came down, okay, and also the fucking, where the glass comes in, like there's a big glass area. That was where the sun came in the morning. So they would have lit that place up like the fucking Taj Mahal. It would have been just glowing light. It was all white kitchen. She's saying she literally walked in and didn't see him laying there with a puddle of blood, too, because he had a contusion in his head. Okay. Now, here's the fucking big thing, dude. There was a big puddle of blood, right? When you kill somebody, right? When you kill somebody, you like some people will like they'll shoot somebody in the head and they'll put a blanket over right away to stop any arterial spray. But that's only going to last until the heart stops. And then you end up what they call lividity. When a body's just laying there, they can tell how long you've been dead by the lividity, meaning the bruising of the body. Because what happens, all the blood in your body, it's not being pumped anymore. So it just like settles to the bottom of your body. And that's lividity. And so what happens, how would he have hung himself to the point where his heart wasn't working, right? Dead, and then fucking thing finally snapped, and then he hit his head. There shouldn't have been any blood. His heart wasn't pumping.
Right, that
No
was
blood.
one of the arguments. Yeah.
So I mean, in itself, like he said, they couldn't even say that in a special because like they had only so much time and they cut that out. But there's lividity. There's no fucking chance. Your heart's not pumping blood anymore when you're dead. So that means, so what they said is he had enough oxygen that cut out to his brain. He might have still been alive. That was their excuse. They couldn't prove it. Bullshit. Because then he was still been alive. Listen, when somebody's had a major head injury, I've seen a motorcycle accidents. I've seen a dude shot in the fucking head. He died literally right in front of me when we ran over it. But they go, they breathe weird. They make crazy loud sounds.
Yeah.
It's gross. Yeah, dude. And it's some guys will mumble. It's a head injury. You never know what can happen.
Yeah.
But for him to lay there silent and I didn't see him. It just stunk, dude. Everything.
And then
You
people
just look
who
up
know
all the circumstantial shit.
people who knew Arturo Guy said like he was never like a suicidal type, a quitter on top of
Dude,
that,
he
right?
loved himself too much.
Yeah.
He was a narcissist, you know what I mean? Like most, but no, he truly loved himself, man. He loved the limelight. He loved going to bars and people, hey, Toro! You know what I mean? He liked being that guy. He loved his life. And he worshipped his daughter. He
Right,
never
like you think about
would have
that.
killed
You just
himself
that even
for
you're
his
killing
daughter, dude.
yourself. You've thought about it. It's not like all of a sudden. I think you know. What I mean, like you've thought about killing yourself, and like he has a daughter, so that means that he just didn't give a shit about her. Like he was
And
that
not
bad.
only
He was
that,
that
not only
bad
did he
that
have a daughter, he knows now think about it, dude. Why if he knows he's gonna kill himself, even if he got so depressed,
right?
Oh man, this sucks. I'm gonna kill myself. If he was gonna do that, Toro's the kind of kid would make sure he get that bitch off the fucking thing, and it would make sure he had
Secure.
ironclad money to his daughter.
Yeah,
She ended up with
secure her
nothing,
future.
dude.
Yeah, he would secure her future and then maybe do whatever he wants to do.
Exactly.
But
Then do it. And he would have done it with a bullet.
On
He
top of
would have
that, yeah,
hung himself like a fucking
hung.
zipperhead. Dude, that's so dirty. That bitch murdered him. Straight
Yeah, she
murdered
had
him.
a-
Then
he
the
had a-
cunt went
then she
opened
opened the
a
shop.
fucking clothes store in
Yeah.
the same neighborhood as where his mother lived. Dude,
Yeah,
she was a
same-
black-hearted fucking bitch, man.
I know where this.
She
I know
would get
which
him
street it
drunk.
was. I know which street. And they apparently she had to close it down because she was getting shit from people. I think that's what I heard.
Oh, yeah, Toro Gotti's
she had-
cousins, they want to kill her, man. His sister, Toro's sister's nuts. She's a crazy girl, man. I met the whole family, man. They're like what you would expect. A New Jersey Italian, tough fucking family, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From that era. And yeah, you know, so yeah, he was always a fighter and shit. No, he loved his daughter, he loved his mom. He would have never done that, dude. It just I'm telling you right now, I guarantee you line it all up. She waits until and listen, because Mickey was out with them and shit, and other people I've talked to who used to hang with him would say, when at events, she was a fucking heavy drinker too. All of a sudden, after they got married, suddenly she stops drinking. Now I don't really want to drink anymore, and that pissed the Toro off. It's like, wait a minute, you got me drunk. We're partying all the time. She's banging back lines. So she gets his alcoholism up. Would constantly start fights. Anybody who met her didn't like her. Nobody liked this bitch. Nobody's wife liked her. My wife couldn't stand her. Nobody liked her. Nobody liked who met her. She was nasty. She would get him to smack her. I'm telling you right now, dude, this bitch, she was
It's
out
all
for herself.
pre-planned,
man.
right?
She
She
was
knows.
smart.
Yeah, she knows the exit plan, and she just
Oh,
needs to
she
get
had
there.
it all
She needs to
lined
get
up.
there.
That fucking detective too, the first state detective. Remember, the first police who got there, right? They have provincial cops and they have the city cops, like the regular town cops in Brazil, where this happened. And then they have the provincial police, which is the Providence cops, or I mean, like equivalent to our state police. The locals, dude, arrested her. right off the rip. The detective came in, checked that purse, listened to her story, just looked at the evidence at hand and said, no, you're under arrest. They charged her with murder. It wasn't until a dude who came in who they've proved had connections with her family, okay, and who suddenly, 18 months after that, had retired within like a year. So now he's living on a Brazilian fucking state police pension. The dude bought an Escalade. And everybody around, be like, this is no way. He wasn't invested in anything other than probably shit he did dirty. She probably paid him 20 grand, shut his mouth.
Yeah.
$20,000 in Brazil?
Yeah, exactly.
Back then, 2006? Come on. Dirty as a motherfucker. And that's what the Boston cop who went down there said. He was like, oh, yeah, that state trooper, well, that fucking Providence
But then
cop
again,
was dirty.
Gary was all over her, though, from what I understood. Like, he couldn't let her go or something.
Hey, you know what? It sounds
So-
like a bitch like that is like, she gives good head.
Yeah, no, exactly. Good pussy. That's all it is. It's good pussy. That's all
there
it
was
is.
something.
He's
There was
addicted to the
something because
pussy.
Gary kept going back. Apparently, they had so many fights, and he kept coming back. And it's like, that's also a mistake that you make. You have to know when to bounce, man. When to because
like
these women are trouble, man. A lot of them. Let's be honest.
I don't want to say this to my girl can hear because I'm talking about my ex-wife, you know what I mean? But no, straight up, my ex-wife she said it. She's like, wives don't try to get their husbands in fights. You know what I mean? Because all the women were talking about it. Because this bitch, every time we went out to this big banquet, it was for Mickey and Toro, and his wife was there. And man, she was a fucking bitch, dude. She was trying to get Mickey Toro in fights. She'd be nasty to people who want his autograph. It was like she could tell she wasn't going to talk him out of anything. It's almost like get arrested, go to jail. And she was just dirty, dude. She just gave off a vibe. Just watch the interviews, man. Oh, yeah, she planned that fucking shit out. He smacked her, probably hit her once in the face. She said, I'm going to get you, motherfucker. Telling you, women they can be fucking treacherous. And he was in a wrong country to be smacking people. You know? That was her backyard.
He was the B side.
Yep, exactly. He was the B side. Exactly.
Not to make
It
light
tore
of it.
Mickey up, too. Mickey wasn't, hey, but this way, I remember Mickey wasn't surprised. It tore him up, though. He doesn't like talking about it, but it tore him up. He was bummed, man. He was crushed.
Sucks.
Yeah.
He shared something that I can't relate with.
I mean, is that a reason why he got into the Hall of Fame as well?
Oh yeah, without a
death?
doubt. That was the thing
Oh,
what got
that
the
was-
Toro in the Hall of Fame was the Mickey's fights, the trilogy.
Oh no, I'm
Without a
talking
doubt.
about his death. Like, because some people were saying if he wouldn't have died, like he just.
Oh
because he
come
died,
on, man!
basically.
I personally
don't
think
know.
he deserved it because it's not always just who you fought; it's the culture, it's the impact. The Toro Gotti was a big name in boxing. You know what I mean? He brought fans to the fucking stadium because he fought like a warrior, dude.
We're
Like
still
a
fucking
warrior
talking
poet, you know? So it's exactly.
Your king.
Because these guys weren't there for the fucking money there, man. He was there because they were fighters.
Yeah,
He wasn't in the Hall of Fame.
Nearly 20 years later, we're still talking about Gaddy Ward. You can't have one name without the other.
Right.
You know, because those fights, those three fights were amazing. Let's admit, everyone here, and I bet you everyone in the chat has watched them fights probably more than once.
Yep.
So,
It's historic. Yeah,
that's-
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
part of
that
boxing
trilogy-
now. It's part of boxing now. Those three fights are part of boxing. Whether there was a title involved or whether this was a pound for pound, 2 pound for pounders or wasn't, it doesn't matter. I mean, we're still talking about this fight, and for the right
Yeah.
reasons. For the right reasons,
Yeah,
right? We're not
because-
talking about somebody biting
because there were
somebody
three-
else's ear. No, it's just, these guys fought within
Yeah,
the rules of
because there were
boxing.
three great fights.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, and I went in.
you know,
To think I went there that night, I hated the Toro. Got in that mindset. Fuck him, man. The night of the fight, I'm like, fuck him. And by the end of the fight, I'm like, oh man, I hope he's all right. Like I didn't want either one of them to lose. It was crazy.
yeah. Well, being
Mickey,
Irish,
I had.
got it. Yeah.
I'm sorry. What's up?
I said, being Irish,
Checking
I wanted
out,
Mickey to win.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And
Oh, so
I'll tell you, his sister, man.
I'm watching
I made a
that.
mistake. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking over here. Because you're checking
It's a
out.
delay, I think. Go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I was gonna say I ended up with fucking like 4 or 5 days, man. Like they were stayed red. His sister, man, because she kept grabbing my arm and she could dig her nails in. We were all standing on the seats, man. We was all standing on the seats by like the second round. And I remember just cut by the end though, I was like, God, Mickey, stop, dude, stop. Stop. Man, every time he hit him, I was like, oh God. Every time Mickey took another shot to the head, I kept thinking, man, he's going to pay for this. He's going to pay for it. And he is. But we're talking about him, like you said, hey, I'd rather be a little goofy upstairs and that people remember me.
Yeah. I mean,
oh, yeah. No,
how many
he's proud of
boxes
what he
we
did.
forget? You know what I mean? We can, yeah. We're not
Exactly.
forgetting this fight.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
I mean, the
Hall of Fame,
surprise.
like
There was a
he knew he
prize.
was never going to be a Hall of Fame fighter, but
Hmm.
he just wanted to be a Hall of Fame fan fighter. Like, he goes, I want the fans to remember me. I want them to know that I don't want anybody to ever say fucking he quit or he left something in there. Like he goes, dude, you know me, they're gonna have to kill me to make me fucking stop.
Yeah, those boxers that say I played safe because at the end of the day, after my boxing career is over, these people, meaning the fans, are not gonna be with me. So like basically they say, like they claim that they're gonna be abandoned, but I'm like, okay, first of all, you're making your money because of the fans, so you can't have it both ways. These people are acting like they don't
And
need
if you try
fans. Come on.
to name them, you have to say these fighters because, like me, I know I've heard a bunch of fighters say that. I
Yeah.
can't think of their names, right? I can't think of
Yeah.
their off the top of my head. I'm like, oh my god, I've heard so many fighters say that, but yet I can see them saying it, but I don't remember them.
Mm-hmm.
But
For a
like you
reason.
said, man, he ain't in the fucking Hall of Fame, but everybody's gonna remember Mickey. He left. He took fucking years off his life to make sure people would remember him. It definitely wasn't for the money, because I'll tell you right now, that first fight, that money was gone in one summer.
Wow, really?
Oh yeah, he didn't make shit.
Well, the
He
first
didn't make
fight. No,
shit
yeah,
the
you're right.
first
You're right.
fight.
You're right. The first. I
Probably
don't
only
know.
made 100,000.
Second
When
fight,
I
they
mean
got a
gone one
million,
summer,
right?
you probably would good coke habit and fucking some trips to the strip club. That shit would get burnt through
That's
that in
it.
no time. Yeah,
Second.
it was. I can't remember, but it wasn't a lot of money.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, remember too, Mickey was making above, I mean, average money. I mean, back then in 19 when he started taking time out of work to fight, you know, like that was the 2 fights before Toro. That's when the guys at Rhodes, the owner, was finally. He was always telling Mickey to take time, but then at that point he was paying him, and Mickey didn't want him. He was like, "No, you work, you're my guy." That's why he would come in with those Rhodes. You'd see Rhodes on his white Robertson Rhodes. You're like, oh my god, he's got Rhodes is sponsoring him, you know.
Yeah.
But no, he was making fucking back in the 90s $34 an hour driving a steamroller, one of those big ones. I know in the movie they show him on the side of the road with his shovel.
Shoveling stuff and
shoveling asphalt. No, dude, he drove one of those fucking $1 million steamrollers, dude.
Okay.
Like he was there for years, man. He left the fucking prison to go do that because it was right next door. Everybody drove by the fucking Rhodes Corporation, see all the guys, the paving guys. And, you know, he was up there as a screw. He's looking out the window in his fucking screw uniform. Like, fuck this. Yeah,
Anyways.
he hated being a fucking correctional officer.
Guys, it's been more than 2 hours, so let's call it a night. But man, great boxing talk, Jimmy. Always your stories, man. Like I said, the best. So we gotta do this again.
Well, I think that maybe that's that story about Kevin and them, and that's one of his friends. It kind of puts you like, Lowell was just a dark, tough town. You know what I mean? Like it's just how it was, and to be one of the tough kids in a dark, tough town.
There's been a
So
few
it's like
fucking documentaries on Lowell. There's one, smoking crack or something in Lowell.
Yeah, Lost Lives and High on Crack Street. Yep.
Yep.
And then it was that Geraldo Herrera is like, here's a town where fighting is not the exception, but the rule. And next it shows guys outside of a fucking nightclub, boo, 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 fist fighting. It was just like, you didn't wear, like everybody, if you wore loafers, leather loafers, you made sure you bought kind that had rubber soles so you could have traction. Like when you bought clothes to go to a club, you figured in fighting. Like, kid, is this thing going to choke me? Your haircuts. Yeah, your haircuts, we all had short hair because fuck that, dudes grab your hair.
Yeah.
Like all that shit, it was crazy. That was part of our mindset.
Oh man! All right, let's call it a night, guys.
All right,
thank
gentlemen.
you for
all
joining
right, guys.
us.
Good night.
Peace.
Good night, guys.
Hey,
See ya.
have a good one.
Everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us. Good show. We'll see you next time. Have a good night. Rick Roca says second renaissance. Yeah, we gotta do a second renaissance this week. Come on. 1 second renaissance at least. See ya.
Disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it, man.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
You just killed a little fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. Yeah, because you got nothing. Lobito! You got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA Boxing.